Otsu? The hell you mean Otsu, Bill? I just got here. Why are we saying Otsu already? I haven't started a stream. It's only been 3 minutes since I started stream. What are we on about? What the hell? What the heck? I just started stream. I'm not even off the starting screen and already you guys are writing me off for today? God damn, bro. God damn. Y'all want to see me die so bad. Good lord. Yeah, we're speed running the Zatsu apparently. Alright, I'll see you guys. See you guys in a couple of hours. I play Devil May Cry. Sorry, but now you have to end stream and start a new one. It's the law. Oh my god, no. I don't want to have to do that. Although honestly, sometimes I get tempted to, but when I feel like my stream notifications don't really go out on the damn interwebs. Or when I feel like it's not getting posted, I'm just like, girl, you know what, whatever. I'll just go live again and be like, ding ding, knock knock. Guess who's live? Oh my god. Anyways, what's up? How's everyone doing today? How are you feeling? Do what you want. You do realize you're not supposed to be... You do realize that you're not supposed to talk to me like that, right? Because I am the type of person to do that shit. What's up? How's everyone doing? It's Otsuberu for you, Cody? Okay, that's fine. It is pretty late. It is pretty late, not gonna lie. I do apologize for pushing back stream an hour. I totally thought that... I totally forgot that I like scheduled it for 6. Probably because I thought... So the reason why I ended up having stream at 7 today is because I thought I was going to be swimming today, but they shut down my pool. They closed the pool for today because it was like storming for the last couple of days. So I was like, oh, well, damn. And I was under the impression that I wasn't going to stream till like 7. So yeah. Sorry for the delays and pushing everything back. But how's everyone doing? Hope you guys have been well. What's up? Hope you sleep well. If you need to sleep well, please do. Otherwise... Are you guys ready to die? No, I'm kidding. Kidding! But also locks the door behind you. Alright, so... Kidding. Kidding. Or am I? Well, I'm kidding for now because I want to eat dinner first. And then once I have refueled, then I can go ahead and talk about my hyperfixation in full. And make you guys absolutely regret making me talk about the things that I love. And then we can move on. So, yeah. I'm ready as long as I get coffee. I feel like we would have a coffee machine in the Bluebell establishment. I think I would be surprised if we wouldn't. I feel like it's something we definitely would have. Komedi Kotetsu, what's up? Kotetsu, I should say. Always ready since I see you play Apex. Thank you. Speaking of Apex, did you guys see that they're finally going to roll out the solo queue tests in Ranked? They will be rolling it out on June 9th to the 23rd. So basically, for the last 2 weeks of this split, everyone that is Diamond Plus and above is going to be... They're gonna have to play solo. They're gonna have to play solo. They're gonna have to play solo. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? Any questions? Any concerns? I know you guys are probably curious about what I think about it, but... I'm curious to see what everybody else is feeling about it. Did you hear the Snoop and Otto's collaboration song for Stranger Than Heaven? Oh my god, yes. They got Higedan, they got Otto, they got Tori Kelly, and then Snoop Dogg on a track. Like, I need him to drop that shit yesterday. I've literally been playing, like, the trailer release for Stranger Than Heaven nonstop. Like, I need that shit to be on streaming services now. I want it on my desk by tonight. It's so fire. Oh my god. So excited. So excited. I'm really... Honestly, I've always been curious into trying the Yakuza series, but I was always, like, intimidated because there's, like, so many games and, like, so many hours that go into Yakuza, right? And, yeah. So to see that they're making something, like, a new series for people to get into that sort of stuff makes me excited. And also, like, the song is just fire. The song is just insane. So, yeah. Local pool finally opened. I'm excited to splash it out when it gets warm again. Oh, yay! I hope you enjoy. Have fun. Stole the coffee machine since I needed one for my house. Okay. Well, you're not gonna have to answer to me. You're gonna have to answer to the chimes on that one. I don't know what to tell you. Solo as in completely solo, or solo as in random teammates? Solo as in you cannot make pre-made parties. As in, everyone's teams will be completely comprised of solo players from Diamond up. So as soon as you hit Diamond 4, you are no longer allowed to play ranked with your friends. Yeah. You're dying? Some people are. In this chat? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to find out. Oh, it's a prequel to the Yakuza series. I see. Okay. I mean, I'm bummed about the D2 news, but I'll get over it. Oh, yeah! Yeah, moment of silence for D2. Hi, Key! I thought I was, like... I thought I was still in my sleep state haze when I originally saw the end of service announcement, but then I saw people repost it. And I read it in full, and I was like, oh my god. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, 07's in chat. 07's in chat for D2. I can't believe it's coming to a close. Like, I know I wasn't really super into like D2 and stuff like that, but I know a handful of friends that were. So I think it's actually kind of crazy to see it like close. But yeah, good luck to everyone involved. Hope everyone can do some great work. On the bright side, it seems like the company is working on another title, so that's exciting. Although, unfortunately, this probably means we're not getting that Destiny 3. Probably not. Who's Destiny? No, no, as in, we're talking about the game Destiny 2. By the same folks that recently released Marathon. Bungie. Yeah. Bungie. But yeah. Probably not, but I am curious to see what their next title is going to be. I think that'll be curious. Konberu Kyoku, what's up? Yakuza is so good, it's so worth it. Yeah, I hear really good things about Yakuza, and I do want to get into it. I'm still just debating with myself if I want to like play it on stream, if I just want to play it on my own time. Cause that's a shit ton of hours, guys. That's a shit ton of hours, and I don't know what games I'd want to knock out. Cause it's probably gonna be all of them. I don't know. But yeah.
BB.
Hello.
Konberu.
Konberu.
_ Bell Love.
Oh, thank you, Vegan. A Konberu to you as well. Happy Thursday for everyone. Happy Thursday for everyone. But yeah. Alright, sorry. Before I get super distracted again. First topic I mentioned. Solo queue. Yay or nay? Solo queue Apex, yay or nay? Do you guys think you'll be surviving the mines? Because I'm very curious to see. I am quite curious to see who can actually hang and who is going to be showing themselves to be very boosted. I think it'll be interesting for sure. Comedy Bard, what's up? But yeah. Doesn't affect me as a silver player, but I think the diamond being included in the bracket is bonkers. I would agree. I would agree. Yeah. Personally, I'm not part of that target audience anyway, but taking the option for full stack away seems kind of weird because what can you gain from forcing interactions like that? So, there's a couple of things that probably went into this. For number one, it's only going to be a test. It's only going to run for like 2 weeks. So I guess we'll be able to see what the community sentiment will be. It probably won't take us like the full 2 weeks. It'll probably take us like the first 3 to 5 days most likely. But yeah. Ask the alien from Wisconsin about Yakuza. Why are you talking about my wife like that? Listen, just because she's not into chocolate croissants like all of us doesn't make her an alien. What the hell? But yes, I figured if I were to get into Yakuza, I already have like a good resource to ask. For sure. For sure. Thank you for the consideration. And thank you for the supa too. But yeah. I've been out of those mines for years. Why aren't you coming back, Bard? Why aren't you coming back? Apex is so fun lately, right, guys? Oh my god, it's just so much fun. Everyone's getting back into Apex. Like, oh my god, Apex might be back? Question mark? They say, and then solo queue. Going back to the Apex changes, I don't have much of a take because I don't rank like that, brother. But why do they apply that to Diamond? I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. I too also solo queue anyway, so like, yeah. I don't know, Crumpy. Yeah. Hi, Key. I think this is a step in the right direction. You know? I think this is a step in the right direction. Do I necessarily agree with all the changes? No. But am I quite curious to see how it all falls out? Yes, absolutely. Yes. But, yeah. I think I'll be a step in the right direction, honestly. Because, like, part of the reason... Speaking of someone that solo queues frequently, right? part of the reason why the solo queue experience is so goddamn abysmal on EVE.EXE is because, like, you could be queued in with little Timmy and Andy and Gold and Plat, right? And on the other end of it, there'll be like the one you'll end up dropping next to the one Pred team, right? In the entire lobby. And it's just not fun. It's not fun getting run down by a 3-stack band of Preds when you're literally just out here minding your business. Right? And part of it is definitely the matchmaking process. And the other part of it is because, like, you know, literally out of all of the other high-ranked sort of competitive games that I know of, Apex is kind of the only one where you're still allowed to full stack at the highest tier. Right? So, I don't know. Good night, Laura. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah. So, I'm quite curious to see, like, who, like, you know, how it all shakes out, I guess, towards the end. However, I do agree with everyone in chat where I don't think Diamond should be considered. Diamond should definitely... I feel like in Diamond, you definitely should be able to, like, stack with your friends. Because Diamond is, like, the lower tier of, like, the higher rank, right? Like, that's where you're actually starting to learn to, like, use comms, like, position yourself in game. And also, let's be honest. Let's be clear here, okay? There is such a distinct difference between a Diamond 4 player and a 16K Hardstack Master, okay? And then there's even a difference between, like, D4 itself versus all the other tiers of Diamond, you know? Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they started to do solo queue from, like, D2 onward, right? But, like, including D4 and D3 in the mix, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. I don't know. But there has to be a reason why they're doing this. I think the reason why they're doing this is just to see, like, how the matchmaking experience plays out, I guess. Because I bet another reason why matchmaking in Apex is such a pain in the ass is because they have to consider all these 3 stacks. Right? So, yeah. I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, to everyone that is trying to get a certain rank, make sure you do it before June 9th. Otherwise, you're on your own. Like me, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'll solo queue on my own time, but to everyone else that loves playing with their friends, you got that. You got that. Good luck. Also, Liz, welcome back for 160. Stream streak. Oh my god. How are you, love? Hope you've been well. Hey, baby, want to see them 360p playing cards in chat? Or did you post it in the cord? They use solo queue. I wonder how they'll calculate RP loss gains. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like the matchmaking is done or if like the different calculations will be into. I didn't actually look at the full I didn't look at the full thing yet. I have to read it back, I guess. Or I'll see when we finally implement it. Who knows? I just want to ape with my friends. Forced solo might break up the strongest teams in a lobby, but it also sounds miserable with slot machine skilled / unskilled / toxic / nice random teammates. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you should be able to still stack in Diamond, at least in like the lower tiers of Diamond, because a lot of the casual player base is still there, right? I don't know. I am quite curious to see, though, just how it shakes out for people and the sort of complaints we'll get from the matchmaking experience. Because, yeah, you know. Oh, my God. This is an EVE.EXE? Yeah, because we're yapping. We're doing something better in EVE.EXE. We're yapping over dinner. Also, hi, Meadows. How are you? Have you been talking to anyone on Siege today? Yeah. I don't know. You play 3 games of Apex? Oh, were you toxic to anyone on Apex then? Those 3 games. I'm kidding. Hope you had some good games. Speaking of ranked, or speaking of Apex, I think Apex is getting DDoS or some shit earlier, right? I was like watching Knock and a couple of other people trying to do like scrims and ranked or whatnot. And like the servers just kept dying. And then they tried to move back to scrims and the servers are just dead. You play was it apparently? I know I see some people running ranked right now. Yeah, I don't know if they were DOSing scrims specifically as they were just like the servers in general. But I remember everyone's games. At least Nox games, like they were closing his games. So I don't know if the servers were under attack or what. Although I'm pretty sure Albosa tweeted about it too. Who knows? But yeah. Technically, we yapping about Apex. Yeah, we're yapping about Apex because I'm giving everyone a grace period before I start talking about the other grace that I've been quite fond of. Smile. Confidence Ignis. Yeah. Basically, today is going to be the brain rot about Project Hail Mary because I subjected everyone to a movie night and then say my piece, and then hopefully I won't have to bring it up ever again. Even though I know myself that's a lie, but I don't know. I figured since I gave you guys a couple of days after the watch along that we did in the Discord, you guys would have some thoughts and opinions on it, you know? And me, I am always happy to share my thoughts and onions on things, you know? Do a little analysis or whatnot. I think it sucked. I didn't watch it. Mods ban that guy. Twist his balls. Oh my Rico nuts! Oh my god! Hi Rico. Hi Rico nuts. How was your I'm so sorry. This is what I get. This is what I get. This is what I get for allowing someone to say that Rico is from Wisconsin. This is the sort of time I get. Hello, my love. How are you? Did you enjoy Cooking Simulator? No. We're not torsioning the Rico knots. We might torsion that Yoma Brainrot guy. He's a little suspicious. But no. You guys are safe. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? It's me, BB. I'm currently eating dinner, and we're chatting a little bit about Apex and just what's been going around. And we're talking about Stranger in Heaven, too, for a little bit. I know Rico is my expert in the Yakuza games. I was telling everyone that I was interested in playing Yakuza at one point, but it's so many hours of gaming. So I figured you might be able to point me in the, you know, the right starter direction. Thank you so much for the raid, though. I hope you guys had a fun collab. Hope you guys had a fun collab. Cooking fries make me want to eat some, so I'm a cook. Ah, very nice. Can I get some? You got the crinkle cut. Can I get some? I'll leave you some pasta. Your rec is the Yakuza 0 one? Heard. I did hear good things about Yakuza 0. I did hear good things about that one. But yeah, because we were talking, I don't know if Rika and Yoma. Oh my god, look at all Team Bird together now. Wow. I don't know if you guys have heard like the new track or like saw the trailer for Stranger Than Heaven. But it had like Ado on the beat, it had Higedandism, it had Tori Kelly, it had Snoop Dogg on it. Like that shit was fire. It's so good. I need them to drop that single, bro. It's so good. Take care, Meadows. Good luck in your games. If you game today. J-Lash will go back for 3 Sheep Chic. Oh my god. I've been looping this song. That's what I'm saying. They need to drop it on Spotify already. They're pissing me off. Well, anyways, I don't want to keep you too long. But yeah, if you need to eat, please do. Thank you for the raid. I hope we get to play together soon. All of us, Team Brr. I know we talked about it or whatnot, but I don't know what time zone you're in anymore. We'll figure it out though. We'll figure it out. But yes, hello Rikonauts. It's me, Phoebe. We're chatting today. We're vibing. Well, I'm gonna be playing Devil May Cry later, but yeah, I'm just Zatsuing right now and eating dinner and chatting and talking about changes, and then I'm gonna get into my hyperfixation, which is none other than the latest Ryan Gosling space movie to come out, which is Project Hail Mary. We did a Discord watch along last Saturday, was it? Was it just last Saturday? It was Saturday, was it? Yeah, it was. And I was going to have this, like, post watch along Zatsu, like, right after, like, when I came back to streams this week on Tuesday, but I thought I was gonna have a collab, which is why I got moved today. And also, I figured I would give, like, a couple of more people a little bit more time to watch Project Hail Mary, you know? Before I just yapped their ear off. So if you guys are interested in that, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, you should probably watch Project Hail Mary yourself or read the book, because I've watched the movie 5 times, maybe 7, and I read the book twice. Very good, very pog. So I'm just gonna brainrot about that today, and then once I've said my piece, maybe we can finally get back to Apex and whatever the hell else I'm doing here. Might? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But yeah. But I figured we chat about it a bit. I wanted to get out some other couple of things, like all the Apex changes. Which, again, I personally don't mind solo queuing, but that's because, again, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. But everyone else, good luck. Good luck out there. Listen to the audiobook if it makes reading more accessible. Yes. I'm not really much of an audiobook person, but I do hear that Project Hail Mary's audiobook was narrated by Ray Porter, and I heard incredible things about that guy. And I heard that one specifically was pretty good. So if you're an audiobook person, highly recommend it. However, whatever means necessary you need to experience peak. So yeah. Wait, that means no Team Burr after Diamond? You'll still get Team Burr if we play before June 9th. Either that or I don't know. Technically, Team Burr can still happen. We just gotta play in Diamond lobbies before the 9th. Because they're not doing the test until June 9th, you know? So yeah. But yeah. Got some cute desk assets. Yeah, I brought out the desk and stuff. I brought it out because I figured it was here, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Alright, anyways, have we caught up? Have we caught up? Are we good to start yapping? This is so funny, man. I had like a handful of things that I wanted to touch and like topics I wanted to talk about, but every single time I know once I actually sit here, I don't know where to start. So I figured I would just ask. I would ask you guys. How do you guys feel about Project Hail Mary? If you were there, raise your hands if you showed up to the watch party, or if you did it, you watched it on your own time. What are your thoughts on onions? What are your thoughts and onions about Project Hail Mary? How do you guys like it? What do you guys want to talk about? That'll be a great starting point, I think. That'll be great. Fist my bump. That's a start, right? Yeah, exactly. Thumbs up. Fist my bump. Oh my god. But yeah. And also, if you were there at the watch party, or have you guys been thinking about Project Hail Mary nonstop like I have? You can say no, by the way. I'm just asking who else is also as insane as I am. That's the real question. I couldn't. I know, Cygnus, we missed you. Miwa wasn't there too. Actually, Miwa was there. Which is funny because I could have sworn I didn't think his ass would have wireless connection, being so close to like the rapids and the falls and shit. Where'd you go, Niagara? This isn't really Project Hail Mary related, but I do want to say my piece with a little bit. Can you guys fucking believe that Miwu lost Chibi Me in Niagara Falls? Fucked up. You had one job, bro. You had one job. It was to, like, take me with you to see the sights around you, not to lose me in them, man. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Fucked up. How could you lose me at the falls? You know damn well you're supposed to keep an eye on me. You did it. Like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this, Miwu. Messed up. I'll remember this. You're forever at the falls? Like, yeah, no, God forbid now. God forbid. Like, it's going to wash up at the bottom of the fucking falls and someone is going to have the fortunate and or unfortunate situation to see my dumbass there, man. Like, what the hell? Leaving my mark on the world. Physically this time. There's a BB floating in Niagara. God, I sure hope she is with her freaking emergency flotation device. You know? Like... She's in her swimming area. It's what she would have wanted. I mean... Well, we did talk about playing Subnautica next week. The first one, not the second one. I did mention about playing Subnautica next week, so I don't know. I guess it was just Miwu foreseeing the future about me being under the water. So, yeah. You read a BB photo card? Thank you. Wanted to know how to recover a hacked Discord. Can you not talk to, like, Discord's customer service? But anyways, I just want to get that piece out. Chippy BB merch when? I don't know. Soon, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, back to Project Hail Mary. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it so much. I know there's a handful of first-time watchers. And some of those first-time watchers I managed to convert to watching in the theater. So, I did my part. I did my part. I'm proud of that. I'm patting myself on the back with that one. 2 thumbs way up? Why not 5? What the hell? I'm kidding, that's fine. If you're ready and you'd be able to do it. For humans, that's fine. I'll accept the 2 thumbs up. I want to watch again. I usually need another run through to process everything. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like, I don't know. Usually when I watch movies and stuff like that, I'm usually not incited to, like, do a rewatch. Like, I don't know, something about the rewatchability of this movie in particular just needs to be studied. I don't know. And, like, I don't know, in all 5 to 7 times, depending on who's counting, that I watched Project Hail Mary, there's always something new to notice. Whether it's, like, Easter eggs from the book, or, like, cute little analysis and things like that, or, like, funky little things they did with the filmography, or, like, the color grading and stuff. Like, it's so cool. I don't know. But yeah, every movie experience I had with Project Hail Mary, every watch experience I had, it was always different in its own way. Well, yeah. Very happy the 5th one I managed to do with you guys, though. Honestly, the fifth watch along that I did with you guys, yeah, I noticed a couple of things here and there new in the movie also, but, like, I don't know, I think I just had a lot of fun watching everyone's reactions. I had so much fun watching everyone's reactions. Like, oh my god. Everyone's just freaking out. Freaking out, laughing, crying, crying. It was great. Like, oh my god. I've watched Project Hail Mary so many times. I forget that, like, it's such an emotional roller coaster ride the first time you watch it. Like, damn, they be doing a lot. they be doing a lot, you know? So it was cool being able to relive that first impression, that first time experience with some of you guys. Which, by the way, thank you again for coming. But yeah, we have never heard from her or seen her again since she's gone too deep in the ocean, never streaming again. Yeah, bro. I am under the water. Please don't help me, actually. Don't help me. I'm right where I need to be. Just swimming along in the waves. What up, Joel? You got 5 though? Yeah, you don't. You don't, Kiwi? And you don't? I like the first time watcher. It was so much fun, bro. It was so much fun. I'm very happy that everyone had a good time. Not only am I happy to like hang out with you guys, but also I'm very happy that you guys liked Project Hail Mary. Like honestly, I think Project Hail Mary, it's like what Joker said. It's very, very hopecore. Very, very, very hopecore. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why it struck such a deep chord with me the first time. Cause like, I don't know, in a world that is like so used to having desolate outlooks and like looking at the inevitable and stuff, and to look at the inevitable and the unknown rather, you know, as something to fear and rather as something to work out. Like, I don't know, I thought that was a pretty good message. I thought that was a pretty good message to get out. So, yeah. Very nice, very good. Have you read the book? Because the book is better, in my opinion. Yes, I have read the book twice. I've honestly been meaning to do a third reading. And yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I have a hard time really comparing both the movie and the book when it comes to saying which one is quote-unquote better, you know? Because, like, here's the thing, right? There's no way in hell you're going to be able to adapt an entire book that wouldn't exceed normal theatrical runtimes, right? There's a lot of incredible things that they cut out from the book, right? That I would have loved to see, but I understand why they cut it out, and I think they were right to cut certain things out. Which, by the way, if you guys want to hear about stuff from the book, like if you guys are movie only and you're curious to hear about all the stuff from the books, I don't mind indulging that with you, but honestly, if you were interested in like the science side and the more like introspective sort of stuff, I recommend you pick up the book yourself. Whether like physical or audiobook. But yeah, I don't know. Movies and books are essentially two different mediums, right? And you can't call it a good adaptation if you're not making it for the medium that you're working with, right? I would have loved to see all of the introspection. I would have loved to see so much more science up front. I would have loved to see some of the deleted scenes, like the fact that they paved the fucking Sahara and or nuked Antarctica. And also the courtroom scene too. Spoilers, but also kind of not spoilers. It's just shit that happened in the book, right? I would have fucking died to see that. I would literally kill to see that 4 to 6 hour movie cut that they had. But ultimately, I think they were smart to do that, the theatrical release that they did, right? Because not everyone is going to be on board with the genetically engineered me burgers, right? And all that other stuff. It's not going to hit specifically, right? But what matters truly is that they managed to capture the soul, right? And the soul isn't necessarily all the science and stuff. That's just Andy Weir's vehicle into getting the actual message out. The actual message that is friendship and hope, right? And I think they managed to nail that. They really, really nailed that. And honestly, there's a couple of things that I feel like the movie did better rather than the book, you know? I feel like a lot of the characters were more fleshed out and stuff. But yeah, ultimately, both the movie and the book, I think they're both great in their own ways. Kind of depends on what you, I guess, prioritize more, really. But yeah. Something so fascinating about space? Yes. Yeah. That's another thing, too, that I think the movie did a little better. And again, because visual media, you can actually see the space, right? How much space that they're dealing with. And they gave it so much space. You have to give space. Space. But what I also really like about space in particular in Project Hail Mary, in comparison like to the other space movies, is that compared to like Interstellar and shit like that, right? I think the one thing I really, really enjoyed about Project Hail Mary is like the specific color grading that they decided to do. Like rather than space be like cold and bleak and so less like no color and whatnot, like so monochrome, like space ended up feeling so lively and so colorful and so beautiful. Like with all the Petrova line sequences and stuff like that, or like the Adrian sequences, like I just loved seeing all of the colors. Like for a space movie, a lot of the colors and framing was quite based in earth tones, really. And I don't know, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool in how it like colored our perspective, I guess, and made space a lot more warmer than most people tend to portray it as, you know? It's really hard to do space without a bit of science, but they have to streamline it to fit the movie time. Exactly, exactly. But yeah. I mean, if you guys are curious to hear about all the differences between the movie and the books, I'm more than happy to share that info with you. But again, I highly recommend you can read the book on your own time. So I won't talk too much about it. But yeah, I don't know. I think that everyone that produced and directed Project Hail Mary were very smart and knew exactly what they were doing to get such an incredible message out, you know? But yeah, like that whole first bit where Grace was first figuring out that he's in space and stuff like that, I think they handled it pretty well. I think it would have been really funny to hear his inner monologue and stuff like that. But there's only so much. There's like a rule that they do for movies, right? Which is always like show but don't tell, right? Show, don't tell. And I think they managed to actually do that, you know? Obviously, there were certain moments where they did have to tell you a little bit about what's going on. But for the most part, like, they managed to hit all of the specific notes. Like, all of the important notes, too, I think. But yeah. But yeah, I'm really hoping that in the physical copy, we'll get, like, a director's cut or something. Because I know it might be crazy to sit down for 6 hours, okay, watching the full assembly cut, but I'll fucking do it. I'll do it. I'll be there. I don't care. I want to see. I want to see the seats. I want to see the friend that Grace is talking to about the fucking Petrovoscope and shit. I want to do it. Now, how do you feel about the part where Grace did not want to go and was forced to anyways? Do you think you could personally send someone out like that considering all the circumstances? Ooh, good question. Very good question. Oh, man. So that's either a deep dive into Grace or a deep dive into Strahd. Which, honestly, I love Strahd in both the book and the movie, but I'm a little bit more partial to the movie, not gonna lie. Just cause, you know, Andy Weir, my goat, and I know he said he made Project Hail Mary to work on his character development. He still hasn't quite figured out how to write women yet. He did a good job, all things considered, but also I quite like the warmth that Strahd had in the movie. Cause I'ma tell you guys right now, Strahd did some heinous shit to get this shit going, okay? Okay, but to answer your question, how do I feel about the part where Grace did not want to go and was forced to anyways? Do you think you could personally send someone out, like, considering all the circumstances? So how I felt about Grace not wanting to go, I was shocked, to say the least. For sure. I was definitely shocked. And honestly, I felt scared. I was genuinely scared for him, really. I mean, as anyone would be, to be like told, hey buddy, we need to send your ass out to space or you die with us. You know, you got 3 hours to figure that shit. Good luck, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. I remember like the first time I watched Project Hail Mary, because I watched the movie before I read the book. And I remember both times in like the movie and the book and my first impressions, I was just absolutely mortified. I was mortified. I was absolutely mortified, you know? But then I was also like really proud of Grace in a way too, right? Like, honestly, I know a lot of people were probably like, oh, he's so selfish. It's so... Well, I know a lot of people are more like scared for him, but I know there's like a handful of people who are like, you mean to tell me he didn't want to go to begin with, you know? But yeah, I don't know. It was like kind of enlightening in a way, right? Because for most people, for most protagonists, right? Everyone always has this sort of like hero complex. And part of it is because of just, you know, how you come to know storytelling and it comes to like the hero's journey and things like that. And, you know. And I think what was so, as morbid as this sounds, what was so refreshing about Grace in that aspect was that Grace is a coward through and through, you know? He genuinely, sincerely was not trying to be a hero. It's like a callback to one of the things where he says, like, I have no, like, I don't have the bravery gene, right? And Commander Yao was just like, you don't need to have a gene for it, you just need to have someone to be brave for, right? Like, the man was a coward through and through. But yet, despite being a coward, right? He still managed to pull through in saving humanity. Like, saving also, not just humanity, saving not one, but 2 stars, right? 2 systems. And so, yeah, I don't know. In terms of, do I think I could personally send someone out like that? No. Yeah, but also like now, I would also really, really, really hope that they would be willing and they would understand the stakes. And I think Grace did really understand the stakes here. I don't think he was lying at all when he said that, right? But like, if you've been paying attention to what the movie has told you about Grace, and it gets expanded upon if you actually read the book and stuff, Grace is an absolute coward. Like, he was absolutely terrified. There's a reason why he only had one ex-girlfriend, right? Because he was so absolutely... After he got kicked out of academia and stuff, he was so terrified of any sort of risk. He's a highly, highly risk aversion. He didn't even want heartbreak. That's why he was kind of like doing his own thing, right? Right? And then there was also that part where Strat was just like, don't hide behind your kids. You know, it's so insulting to them. Right? In the book, it's a lot more brutal than that, you know? Strat was just like, how dare you use your kids as a shield, right? And in that part too, like, I don't think Grace actually was. I think Grace actually does really give a shit about his kids and being a teacher and stuff like that, you know? And wanted to put them first. But he was a coward through and through. And yet, despite that, still managed to come out and do what he needed to do, you know? So, I don't know. I thought it was really refreshing. I also thought it was really sweet. I also thought it was, like, probably one of the main reasons why people are so... They have, like, a sort of affinity with Grace, I guess. You know? Exactly. He did find someone to be brave for it at the end of it all. Exactly. Turns out your soulmate might not be on Earth. It might be on a star system about 13 light years away in the form of a spider-looking rock named Rocky. Shout out my goat. Comedy Sided. Where are you at the convo? Or just hanging out. Chatting, listening to... Excuse me. Answering questions, vibing, yapping. But yeah. I would say the main change made for the movie I liked was them keeping the government guy who helped him as an initial breakthrough. Yes! I really, 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 really liked that too. Yeah. Kind of sad that we lost Steve, but Steve was ultimately not the focus. I'm really glad that we got Carl in the movie. I love Grace and Carl's interactions. I think they were so charming. The Home Depot scene made me so happy. Oh, sorry, legally distinct Home Depot scene. Lionel Boyle is so... Is it Lionel Boyd? Boyle. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. They love pairing him with white dudes, man. It's just great. Great pairings all around, man. First is the... Was it the bear? In Project Hail Mary? Like, damn, bro. This guy is 2 for 2. Sorry, just needed to say that. Oh my god. Don't say that if my soulmate ain't here, I'm cooked. I mean, honestly, fuck a soulmate. Okay, no, I lied. Soulmate. I mean, listen, the concept of a soulmate is... Okay, listen, I'm saying my piece on this. I like the idea of soulmates, but I don't think you're limited to just one soulmate, right? And I also feel like that soulmate doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be platonic. It could be like something that doesn't quite fit in the box, you know? But I don't know. If my soulmate ends up being a fucking 300-year-old Iridian about 13 light years away, I'll go meet them. I don't care. If there's a will, there's a way. Oh my god. Alright, Shaded has said your soulmate might be fighting for their freedom in bronze. I'd rather my soulmate be out there in the stars than fighting for freedom in bronze. Like, there's so much more life to do. Give me back the hyperfixation wheel? No, it's mine first. Hello, welcome. I mean, they said it was a one-way trip. That itself is kind of demoralizing, you know? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know? Grace is an absolute coward through and through. And I don't say that despairingly, I'm just saying that as fact, right? And I think it's quite fair that he said no, right? And that he chose to, you know, not go initially. Because, like, we're dying either way, right? And yeah, Grace just couldn't imagine himself, like, what is it? Sending his ass out on a one-way trip out into space, you know? It's just not there for him. Absolutely terrifying for a coward like him. Absolute baby, you know? But Strat believed in him. Despite all of that, despite all of the, like, the fear and all, like, the cowardly tendencies, Strat managed to basically pull him onto that thing kicking and screaming, and he ended up doing something so incredible, right? So, yeah. Is BB's soulmate out there in space? God, I hope not. I hope not. Unless they're cool, then maybe. But like, if they're out there, I need them to come pick me up, though. Wait, actually, if they pick me up, though, will I be able to keep my games with me? You think they'll allow me to play Apex? You think they'll play Apex with me? No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't introduce Apex to an alien species. Although honestly, I think Rocky would be great at Apex. I'm just putting that out there. I feel like Rocky would be really... I think Rocky would be really good as both a gamer and a streamer. I'm just putting that out there, okay? You lost them at Apex? Yeah. I'm just saying, I think the concept of Minecraft would blow Rocky's mind, bro. I think he'd love that. I'm glad Project Hail Mary is popular. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I've always guys heard that Andy Weir's writing was like really good at doing the science bits, right? I mean, I remember reading The Martian. Not reading it, sorry, watching The Martian, and I remember really enjoying Martian too. But yeah. I still need to read The Martian. I heard that one was good. And then I'm also interested in watching Artemis too. Because supposedly they had the movie rights to Artemis. It's just they're trying to figure out how you do 1/6 Earth gravity. But yeah. The Martian is also fantastic. Watch and read. Yeah. I heard that one of the one of the critiques that Andy Weir got from The Martian was that Mark Watney just kept constantly cursing, apparently. Like, apparently he cursed, like, a lot. Which I thought was funny, because, like, one of my med techs actually read The Martian. And they were just like, yeah, no, if you've ever actually met, like, an engineer, that's exactly what they talk like. But yeah, apparently to rectify that, that's why he made Grace the way that he is. That's why Grace has no cursing. Grace became a school teacher, and because he is a school teacher, he has made it an absolute permanence to not curse around them. So that's... apparently that's part of the reason why Grace is the way that he is and why he speaks that way. I don't know if that's true or not, but I choose to believe it's true, because honestly, that's funny as fuck. Oh my god, that was the thing! That's so funny. That's so funny. I love that about Weir. But yeah, I don't know. You know, microbiologists don't curse, I guess. Yeah, it was really funny because, like, he got critiqued for his protagonist cursing way too much in his last book. So he makes a protagonist that doesn't curse at all. And then people give Grace flack for talking like that. And it's just like, guys. You guys are getting it wrong about Grace here, okay? You guys are getting it wrong about Grace here. Grace, sure, he has a doctorate in molecular biology and happens to have a specific sort of interest in xenobiology and like alien biology and stuff like that. Yeah, but like, it's not all about that. Blood is a school teacher. He's a teacher, first and foremost, okay? He's a teacher that just happens to do cool stuff and happens to be really, really smart, like genius level smart, okay? But that man is a teacher first, right? And so, if you look at Grace with that sort of frame of mind, a lot of the other stuff that he does makes sense to you. I do think you should let him say fuck at least once, though. Like, if he got really, really, like, frustrated... especially when he banged, like, that first message bottle from Rocky on the table. I know he wanted to send that thing to the fucking sun itself, man. But yeah, Grace is an exceptional microbiologist, but he is a teacher first and foremost. Which is why I'm really thankful that, like, that part of him managed to make it to the movie. So just a little less cringe. Just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit, you know? But yeah. We have pasta. Pasta and beef for dinner. Would have been funny if he said a curse when he was smelling that capsule. Oh my god. That would have been insane. But yeah, no. I think they got his characterization down to a T. I think they had Grace and all his mannerisms and stuff like that, and just his general sort of like self down to a T. Like, I was quite pleased. Honestly, I think again, I think the book is better in being able to see the actual science play out, but I much prefer the movie's characterizations of the characters. Again, sorry, we're my goat. You still gotta learn how to write some characters, just a little bit. Write characters that aren't just self inserts, and he's well aware of this, so I have no problems mentioning that on stream. block, amaze, yeah, exactly. He just like makes like a complete rendition of Arid in Minecraft and just shows it to Grace, and Grace is like, what the fuck? I love when Rocky through the second one, he was like, okay, they think I'm stupid. Yeah, exactly. Actually, is Rocky and his species even water-based? That was Grace's big theory, right? That life doesn't need to be water-based to exist. Yes. So... yeah, so the reason why Strat... I'm sorry if I'm saying her name incorrectly, forgive me. So the reason why Strat picked Grace, right, is because he had this whole dissertation about how you don't need water to support life. And that's kind of the reason why he had his whole crash out moment after he figured out that astrophage is basically entirely made of water. In terms of Rocky being water-based, I believe part of it. I think the Iridians are actually water-based in a way, but they don't use it to the extent that humans do, right? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to make sure I don't say this incorrectly. But I watched a handful of videos where he actually went into the full breakdown of the Iridian anatomy and biology and stuff like that. Which I can link to you, by the way. This is publicly available on the internet. I think if you look it up, you should find a Iridian doc, and I'll give you the complete lowdown. And he also made like crazy ass spreadsheets too, like with all of the math regarding how the astrophage works, how Iridian muscles work, how time dilation, all that stuff works out, right? All the relativity, like he did the math, bro. That's literally what he's known for. Like he did the fucking math. But yeah, I think Rocky is technically based in water because the way he talked about it was that. So there is a theory, right? In that, you know, there is something called like a panspermia event that happened. This is a theory where basically like life throughout the universe as we know it and stuff, like all the little tidbits and stuff, first like expanded, right, during the Big Bang and whatnot, and that's how we get us, and that's how like humans and everything else on our ecosystem and like Iridians and stuff like that. So he was making the Iridians off of that concept. And so he had to start coming up with things about the Iridian, like, okay, I want them to be water-based. So yeah, I think that would answer the question. Like, yeah, I want them to be water-based, but how do we maintain water at a degree that doesn't boil, right? So we gotta make it really hot. We gotta make the planet spin really fast. You also have to have it have really, really, really thick atmosphere, so that way the atmosphere, or make it spin really fast so that way the atmosphere doesn't get blown away by the radiation from the sun. Because I think where Eridani AB is, or his planet specifically, Rocky's planet, it's a lot more closer. And it's also bigger than Earth too. But yeah. While Grace was wrong about, you know, some certain things about water not being important for life, he was wrong. He was correct in one other aspect where the Goldilocks... What did he call it again? The Goldilocks zone is for idiots or some shit like that. I think he was right in that regard. He was wrong about water not being needed, but he was right about the Goldilocks zone being for chumps. Because I believe where Rocky hails from in Eridani AB, I believe that's a binary star system. So where Arid is, I don't think it counts being under the Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zone is like supposedly the particular spot you need to be in order for life to be like viable or some shit. So, yeah. Sorry, that was a really long-winded answer. I had to think about it. But yes. In short, I believe Rocky is water-based. However, rather than it be like blood, it's mercury that actually runs through their system. They actually have two coolant systems. Okay, I'm not gonna nerd out about Iridian anatomy. You can look it up yourself, I promise. But yeah. Very, very different. Oh, that's another thing too. When he was making Arid, when he was trying to think, when he was trying to answer the question of like, how do we have liquid water on Arid, right? For life to spawn on Arid, there's a handful of things he did. Number one, he made the planet spin really, really fast. And then number two, the atmosphere had to be heavy. And so that's why Rocky, I don't think they actually talk about it in full in the movie, but that's why Rocky's atmosphere is actually comprised of ammonia, and it's about 27 times more than the oxygen we get on the Hail Mary / Earth. So yeah, spins really fast, super thick atmosphere. Keeps out all the radiation, which is why no visible light gets down to the surface, which is why the Iridians look the way that they are, that they don't have like eyes or a face or nothing. But yeah, I lost track of what I was thinking about. Oops. All to say, I think it's really cool that like we really thought about, you know, he thought about all of the specifics. Like he really thought things through. Like apparently all of the science in the book checks out. The only time the science doesn't check out if you look at it, not atomic level, but yeah. No, I said they see your echolocation. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I would say nerd out, but all right. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I gave myself, what was it? I got 2 hours to yap about this, so I can. I also don't want to say anything too much though, because what if I'm wrong? But that's fine. You guys can just tell me where I'm wrong anyway. But yeah. It's a mathematical equation to compensate where a key point would be for a planet to actually be able to support life. Yeah. Exactly. Great, Steven! Thank you for the super! How are you? What's up? But yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. Iridians are so cool. Iridians are quite interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I ended up going through all of the spreadsheets and stuff like that, and I also managed to just read through the entire thing. He even goes a little bit into how like they hatch, essentially, like how they reproduce and stuff like that, because they talk about it a little bit in the books. Because I mean, come on, you meet an extraterrestrial life, of course you're going to ask them, like, you know, the bird and the beast question is gonna pop up, not just like for horniness, but also just like how the fuck did that work, you know? But I don't know. I'm really like jazzed in just how alien Rocky is, you know? He's so alien, and yet he feels so familiar. And I think that was due to a handful of things. Most of which being, you know, the great Rocky Ortiz's decisions, as well as the Rocketeers, the puppeteers that also helped them. The fact Rocky could instantly understand English felt odd, but that feels more like a pacing issue. So the thing about Iridians, right? A lot of people will try to like argue and say that Iridians are like way smarter than humans, right? But like, to me personally, like both Grace and Rocky were they were absolute equals in each and every single way, you know? Like, they wouldn't have been able to come up with the solution that they did without both of them being there, you know? Like, they both... It was a pretty 50-50 even split, you know? But in terms of why Rocky could instantly understand English, the reason why Rocky could understand English instantly was because they have perfect memory. Iridians essentially have, like, really good RAM memory. They have insanely, like, perfect memory. Which is why, like, you know, when Rocky says, I can't forget, he probably meant it. He's never going to forget about Grace. Ever. Yeah, the reason why Iridians don't have laptops and computers and all of the fancy science, like the technology that humans have, is because they literally have no reason for it. They already have a supercomputer for their brain. Because apparently, the way that their brain works is that it's actually like a network of crystals. And so, apparently, that just like helps them fire off things so much more faster. But yeah. Did I hear they have RAM? No. Miwu, leave the Iridian alone. Drop it. They got SSDs for brains. They really do. They're pretty souped up. Yeah. And so... yeah, it's basically photographic memory on crack. So the reason why Rocky defaulted to Earth time and Earth numbers is because... it's just easier for his brain to process it and talk to Grace. But yeah, but like what the Iridians excel in like memory and like total recall and stuff like that, and also like he was an engineer too. And they had something called xenonite, which is like a metal form of xenon, which is a gas, by the way. What they have in like really good memory and stuff and insane engineering feats, they lack in certain other areas, such as, you know, the concept of time dilation and relativity, as well as also like even shit like, so you know how Grace is constantly being like, oh my fucking god, this guy can see through walls and shit like that. While Iridians have pretty good quote-unquote sight, aka echolocation around them, as soon as they stop like getting information, they don't know where they are. They don't know where they are. Because you know how like as humans, right, if we close our eyes, like if we're taking inventory of things around us, let's say we have a bookshelf behind us, a couch behind us, and a tall lamp behind us, right? We can close our eyes and we could still generally sense where they are, right? In comparison to us. Iridians can't do that. Iridians can't do that. They have no reason to. They're always constantly taking in information, so as soon as you take that shit out, it's gone. They have no idea where they are. But yeah. And also, too, another thing about Iridians is that they're not really built... They have a really hard carapace. Like, basically, their entire, like, their bodies and stuff. You know how we kind of have, like, hair and nails and, you know, all this other cartilage and stuff? That's basically Iridians just, like, taken up to a T and stuff. I think only about, what did he say? Only about 5% of their body is actual biological makeup or something. You know? So, yeah. And it's great because it makes them sturdy. However, makes them very, very susceptible to radiation poisoning, which is probably what killed his team. And they had no idea about radiation because they never had to deal with that, because they typically didn't have to deal with radiation because their planet spins so fast. So, yeah. However, humans, on the other hand, we literally have something in our DNA that will just write out those errors because we're constantly getting bombarded with radiation, right? Obviously, our atmosphere does a good job of keeping most of it out, but, you know, every now and then it comes through. But we're good. We're settled on that. Radios, they don't got that, though. But yeah, that's some other fun stuff I picked up. Yeah. Yeah. Much to say, they very much complemented each other, and I don't think they would have been able to save both of their worlds if they weren't both there present at the table. But yeah. Rocky spare RAM, please? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm fucking saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I think Minecraft would blow his fucking mind. Guardians also had concept they didn't understand that felt more basic / fundamental to humans. Yeah. Yeah, the way I see it is that humans are a lot good. A lot good. What the fuck, English? Humans are a lot better at like all like the fancier like advanced technology and stuff like that, right? But Iridians were good at like the real basics, I guess. The DNA snips, yes, exactly. Not gonna lie, the odds when you think about it of them meeting was insane. You guys want something that'll make you cry? You guys want to learn something that'll make you cry? If you think about it, Rocky waited Grace's entire life to meet his soulmate. I don't remember if this is ever mentioned in the movie, but essentially, in the book, Rocky was actually waiting there all alone with no one to watch him sleep for about 43 years. In the 43 years that he was stranded in Ceti trying to figure stuff out on his own, Grace is out here living his life. He was growing up and stuff and doing science projects and science fairs and getting accepted to his first internship and stuff like that. You know, getting kicked out of academia, falling back on teaching, falling in love with teaching. Has an incredible person named Eva Strat come to his desk, be like, hey, we need you to figure out why the sun is fucking dying. Works on the astrophage. Comes up with incredible discoveries and is the leading forefront of it. And then inevitably was dragged kicking and screaming until 43, 45 years later, he meets Rocky, who was waiting for him that entire time. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that so sweet? It's a little sad, but isn't it sweet? You think about it like that? But yeah. But yeah, can you imagine? Rocky was out there, floating around for 40 plus years. No one to watch him sleep. It wasn't until Grace managed to find his way there too. And then they go on a friend journey of a lifetime. I find that to be a coincidence, but alright. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously part of it is because like we need both of them together in order to have a story. But if you think about it, how many coincidences happen in your life? Right? Quite a few. Quite a few. So I would be surprised that, you know, out of everyone they managed to find each other out there. Cause seriously, what's to say if life is viable on our planet, right? What's to say that life isn't viable somewhere else? You just need a freaking Star Eater to actually push everyone to start saying hi to our neighbors and shit, you know? You're telling me my Grace was just being made? Mm-hmm. Grace wasn't even alive yet when Rocky and the Iridians were trying to figure out why their son was dying because of the astrophage. And he may not last much longer once he actually gets to Arid, but that's for them to deal with. Sorry. Wow, that got really dark. My bad. Anyways. What if bro is out there for like 100 years? Imagine, right? Oh my god. There's a Rocky out there waiting 30 years for BB to come meet them. Listen, I'd love to be able to meet them. I just need money. And also like a exorbitantly priced interstellar spaceship that is powered by a ridiculous thing called astrophage. Less of a coincidence, more like coming together after following the same breadcrumb trail. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah. Komere Anorak. Komere DB. Oh, that's another thing I should probably mention too. Yeah, typically when we have like first contact movies and stuff like that, they always want to talk about how like it's always one species trying to kill the other, I guess. And so the way that Andy Weir like got around that, basically, I guess, or like the reasoning why Rocky ended up being so friendly is because A, you have to be intelligent in a way to... Hi, kitty. I think in order to have like a social... Sorry, give him a bit. You done? Oh, okay. Okay. So anyways, the reason why Rocky is the way that he is because he wanted to set a sort of, you know, basis for society. Because you gotta be pretty intelligent to have a concept of society, right? You need to be able to have some brain cells to you in order to be able to think of the greater good, right? And so part of that was biologically, you know, he had to think of stuff that would, you know, get people to look after each other, like a sort of biological norm, aka watching each other sleep. So, yeah. What ended up being a survival norm for the Iridians, watching each other sleep, ended up being the basis and foundation of, you know, Iridian society as we've heard of it. And having that society would make you want to worry a bit about why your star is dying and would send you out on that same sort of mission. So, yeah. I thought that was cool. Is that your cat? Yes, that's one of my cats. I have two cats. I have Tango and Sierra. They're both tuxedo cats. You only ever hear Tango. Sierra kind of just chills. I think he's yowling because it's been 20 minutes after he got fed. So, yeah. It seems strange to me. I doubt a species that's trying to fight an extinction-level interstellar disaster would be interested in starting conflict with an alien species. Yeah, exactly. I am curious, though. I am quite curious how different the circumstances would have been if both of their crew members were actually alive for it, right? Because, like, not only are both Iridians and humans come from societies where, like, you know, community is the norm and stuff. I think that was part of the reason why they were so open to working together, too. Because they had no one else, right? Grace was lonely for the longest time. Rocky was waiting Grace's entire lifespan for the entire time and stuff like that. And so that... I mean, personally, I still think humans and Iridians would have still come to, like, the same conclusions and stuff. But the fact that it was just the two of them out in this grand old... big old swath of space together, I think that accelerated their need to work together a bit more. Interesting to think about, though. He's screaming for food 20 minutes after being fed. I think it's just like, you know, he's just giving compliments to the chef, which is funny because we feed him the same shit every night. But whatever, this is really good. Does Tango have a concept of cat society? I think they have something called cat politics. I am in no means an expert in it, though. But yeah. Comedy Gog, what's up? I wish my dog would eat the same stuff every day. He's annoyingly picky. I think my lucky fucking stars that my cats are not human food motivated. Tango is too fucking smart. He's too goddamn smart. And yet so stupid for a cat. It would be an absolute nightmare trying to keep him out of the fridge just to get to stuff. I think my lucky star is that he is not human food motivated whatsoever. He only cares about what he needs to eat. Because my god, absolutely insufferable. Has Tango ever had a taste of human food before? He has a couple of things here and there. We feed him cheese sometimes, you know. He can have tiny little bits of cheese. He likes cheese. I think he specifically likes cheddar or sharp cheddar. But aside from that, he'll sniff at things and then he'll ultimately be like, it's not food. Which I'm glad, because I don't want to have to like baby-proof everything. And even then, I think it'd only be baby-proof and not Tango-proof. I still have nightmares of him getting into the drawers that like we put a fucking child lock on. He still got in there and just I still have flashbacks of all the food being strewn around on the floor. No. Thank God, bro. Thank God. By the grace of God, bro. The moment when Grace is like, put up the shields and the ship is like, bitch, we don't have shields. Yeah, I loved the voice that they chose for Mary. Oh my god. Supposedly, the instructions from the director, right, for the voice of the Hail Mary. So they had her set up on set, right? But she was in like a soundproof room, essentially. So that way she gets to talk with Grace when everything is happening. So she's there. And apparently the direction that she got from the directors Lord and Miller was to be the most unhelpful friend you could be. like you're a friend to Grace, but you're not being really helpful. It's so fucking funny. What kills me, honestly, what kills me about the shields up thing is the fact that it recognizes the phrase shields up, but when Grace first said call Houston, it said unknown command. How the fuck you not know? how do you not know what call Houston is or like call home is, but you know what shields up is? I was like, what the fuck? I love it so much. Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know exactly how much of the movie was like improv versus the actual script, but I have an inkling that's part of the reason why Hail Mary can understand shields up, but not call Houston. Yeah, it's more than A than I, exactly. It's so funny. But yeah. She's great though. I love her. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I bet it was a blessing too for like Ryan Gosling, because can you imagine like having to take so many months by yourself just alone in a steel trap like that? Which is why it was really cool just seeing how he talked like with Hail Mary at the beginning when he was quote unquote alone, and then also when he has Rocky towards the end of it. Like, yeah, I don't know. Hats off to Gosling for real. Oh my god. I can only imagine how hard it is like having to live in a scene by yourself. So yeah. What do you mean call Houston an unknown command? That's what I'm saying, like, the fuck you mean? And also, you mean to tell me you're going to break the bank cap on making the Hail Mary and you're not going to think about shields? Like, I know this shit was kind of thrown together last minute, but also... Because there's a part in the book where, you know, all the nations and worlds and, like, all the news outlets are trying to keep track of how much money they were sinking into the Hail Mary. And once they started hitting a couple of billions and trillions and shit like that, they just gave up. They gave up. They were like, yeah, we lost track after, like, the first handful of trillions. It's a pretty expensive fucking spaceship, okay? Pretty expensive fucking spaceship. But if you are faced with literally a mass extinction event, I don't think you can really care too much about the price tag. Which is what everyone ultimately said. But yeah. They didn't have time to make science equipment that worked in 0G. Yeah, you're right. Nah, you're right. Yeah, true. What's the point of all the money when you're dead? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm fucking saying, man. Society is not going to be able to care about who the dead and who the tax or whatnot if you're all fucking dead because we iced over. But yeah. What else? What else? I've yet to talk about Strat yet, have I? Yeah, no, I don't think we have. Talked about Grace, talked a little bit about Rocky. I don't think we talked about Strat yet. I love Eva Strat, by the way. She's incredible. I'm so glad that Sandra Hüller had so much fun playing Strat, because, my god, she is such a girl boss. I love Strat so bad, bro. I love her down bad. She is incredible. She's such a badass too. But yeah. They played her so well and they added to her so much. Like, I don't know. To be fair, again, she did some heinous shit, okay? She did some unspeakable sort of things to get this shit off of the ground. But the thing is, despite how, like, ruthless she was, right? It was never really out of malice. She did what she had to do out of her complete love of humanity, right? Like, I'm so glad that we actually managed to get such an incredible character like her. And to see such a powerful, incredible character being portrayed in such a way. Like, I don't know. She's great. She is great. I will say, I definitely prefer movie Strat in comparison to the book Strat. Again, because of the character writing, and also because I think Sandra Hüller is just fucking incredible. But yeah, I don't know. She's just such a badass. She's such a badass. But there's also like a little glimmer too, right? Where you could see her own humanity, right? Like, she does seem heartless. And she did definitely betray Grace. And dragging him kicking and screaming on the Project Hail Mary. But she only did it because she had to do it, right? But yeah. What is it? And I think one of the cool things from the book that they didn't really expand upon in the movie was that the reason why the Project Hail Mary team had to be the team it was because they were all tested for a coma-resistant gene. Because you know how they were going to put all of their spacefarers into a long-ass coma, right? So that way they don't kill each other on the flight? Oh, hold on. I think that's a book thing. Yeah, so the reason why they decided to put everyone into a coma on their way to Ceti is because 4 years is a long ass time to be cooped up with someone. Yeah. This is one of the things that they kind of wish that they mentioned in the movie, but ultimately I'm fine with them leaving out because it doesn't necessarily change just how dire and how morbid Grace's situation was. I'll expand on that in a bit though, and how it ends up being more morbid in the movie. But yeah, like, the reason why the people had to be the people that they were is because they all tested positive for a coma-resistant gene. And they wanted people with a coma-resistant gene because at this time, they had medication to induce a coma. And the reason why they induced the coma on their way to Ceti is because they don't want the fucking crew killing each other before they get there, right? They're trying to think of the psychological implications. Very not safe. Very, very risky. We saw what happened there. Although, to be fair, it still hasn't been confirmed why the other crewmates died. But, yeah. And one of the first things Strat did, right, when they were testing for the coma-resistant gene was to test herself. Which I thought was an incredible thing to read, you know? You can't tell me someone is heartless and just throwing an unwilling person like that onto the ship unless she fundamentally necessarily had to. Like, had Strat had the qualifications herself, she would have gone on that ship for sure, right? But yeah, she had herself tested and she also had Grace tested too, right? She always thought in the back of her mind, God forbid it ends up having to be Ryland, you know? God forbid it ends up having to be Grace, right? But just in case. And turns out Grace did, he did test positive for the gene. So, yeah. Female Cecilia. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but I'm willing to believe you. But yeah. No, I'm getting tomato all over my desk. Ah! But yeah. Hi, Sheeto! I initially thought it was cryo sleep because of Halo. No! Well, they did sleep, it just wasn't cryo sleep. They were in an induced coma for their trip to Ceti. And, they were managed by one really, really quote-unquote smart medical bot that they used to, that was like proven to have taken care of like coma patients already. That robot, of course, being Armando, by the way, in the movie. So, yeah. That's what made it in. And, what else? What else? Yeah, I love Strat down bad. I love what Sandra did with Strat so much. Which is why I wish to God that we actually got the courtroom scene. There was the courtroom scene where Strat was taken to court. And she inevitably told everyone. She basically pulled like a Ron Swanson and like showed them a flimsy piece of paper being like, here's my permit. Here's my permit to do whatever the fuck I want. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah. One of the things I wish that they showed a little bit more in the movie, and I understand if they didn't have the time to do it, and they kind of leaned into like, you know, her own humanity for, is just how fucking ruthless she was. Cause Strat was a bitch that got that done. Okay, she was a bitch. She was the bitch to get things done. You know. There's so many Earth bits that they probably had to cut out when it comes to the preparation of the Hail Mary and all of that. Two of which being the fact that she paved over the goddamn Sahara with solar panels and also nuked Antarctica. Like, she was ruthless. She was absolutely ruthless. But they wouldn't have been able to do it to begin with if she didn't ask for that. So yeah. Huh? Yeah. Again, not to give away too many things in the book, in case anyone is planning on reading it. But essentially, Strahd gives the order to nuke Antarctica. They nuke Antarctica. I won't go into the details unless you guys really ask about it, but essentially, like, not only did the... Just think about it. Not only did they have to create the Hail Mary, right? And create all... Like, breed all of the astrophage needed to power the damn thing. They also needed to think about what Earth would do in the 30 years that they're twiddling their thumbs, waiting for any results, right? So, yeah, that was part of it. They nuked Antarctica. And then they took her to court over that. Well, they didn't take her to court over that, but they probably did towards the end. For sure. Apparently, they did want to show her nuking Antarctica, but it was cut for time. Yeah, I know. It's so sad. I would have loved to see it. I know they never actually, like, shot it. But I'm sure they could find a way. The penguins, I know! The poor penguins! The poor penguins! The polar bears! Penguins did not deserve it. But also, in order to give Earth a fighting chance... In order to give Earth a fighting chance in staving off the inevitable decline in heat... Sometimes a bitch has gotta nuke Antarctica. Just nuke the thing. Just nuke the damn thing. Something on the lines of we need more ice to keep us cool. Something like that. Something like that. It's not necessarily... Again, I don't want to talk about things unless you guys are okay with being... I guess it's not really a spoiler. I'm just trying to see if it would fundamentally change how you feel about the book if you heard it from me rather than read it yourself. Unless you guys specifically ask, I won't share anything. Unless you specifically ask the reason for nuking Antarctica, I think I won't share anything because again, I want to try to preserve that as much as possible. I will withhold that information. If you're really, really curious, I'm sure you can look it up. Either that or read the book yourself. What level of clearance do you need to have to do that? Who can just nuke Antarctica? EVE.EXE. You need Project Hail Mary clearance. Yeah. Basically, the world leaders, once they realized astrophage was a thing and a threat, they, after a series of rigorous voting processes, came to none other than the lovely and ruthless and badass EVE.EXE. I will say, though, I find it quite interesting that in the movie and the book, though, in the book she was Dutch, but in the movie she was German. And I think part of it was because EVE.EXE, like, Sandra Hüller, like the actress, was German. I don't think it changed too much about it, but... Well, other than it, you know, just gave her a German perspective, of course, but yeah. Can I ask you to design and engineer a rocket ship to Tau Ceti? Girl, I think you're gonna have to watch my Kerbal Space Program highlight video first before you ask me that. Which, by the way, guys, I think I should have like a upload soon. The highlight of my Kerbal Space Program stream. Yeah, I think that'll be coming soon. I'm just waiting on the last couple of changes. Probably sometime next week. Yeah! Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Asking me to design and engineer a rocket ship? I'm good, bro. Put some actual smart people behind that. People that actually work with rockets and stuff. Why nuke Antarctica? So Earth could survive. They nuked Antarctica as a way to survive. In the book. But yeah. I love her down. I love her down so much. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Gosling freaking bullied Sandra Hüller to sing karaoke in the movie. I loved that. I love that so much. Sandra Hüller was only there for like... She had like... Oh man, someone did like a breakdown of everyone's screen time in the movie. I think she was like 20 or 8. She was like below 20% or something. And that one scene and shit. Oh my god. Stole the whole damn movie, bro. I love listening to her sing. That was great. Apparently Andy Weir didn't really like the karaoke scene, but I'm willing to ignore him on this one because like... I don't know, I just love how rounded off, like how much more complex Strat ended up being in the movie, you know? Just the fact that at the end of the day, she's human too, right? Sure, of course, she's had to manage trying to save humanity, and in order to do that, you kind of have to put your own humanity aside. But it was really nice being able to see that bit of her, you know? Love how human it made her in that scene. It shifted a lot for me. Yes! Exactly. I loved it. I loved it so much. She seemed so much more human and warm and kind. Like, it was incredible. BB's rocket ship would be one giant missile with 4 huge-ass boosters in a tiny outhouse-shaped cockpit. Listen, DP, listen! Did I put too much thrust in that thing? Maybe. It was important, okay? I just really wanted to make sure they had enough fuel to get out to the moon, okay? Hashtag Trookers. Oh my god. What year was the book published? That's a great question. I see it on my screen. I'm too lazy. I'm gonna just look it up. Project Hail Mary. Da, da, da. 2021. The book was initially released 2021, and then the movie got released this year, 2026. But yeah, I love Strat. I love seeing how human Strat was and how happy she got to be for a little bit. Until ultimately everything blew up in her face. In all of their faces. And she had to pull it away. She had to pull that warmth away, you know? And what could have been between Grace and Strat will only ever be that. Grace, get in the spaceship. Exactly. Instead of getting the robot. Yeah, I don't know. I find them very interesting. I find them to be very cool and interesting. Pretty much all the relationships, really. But yeah. I also love the Close Encounters of the Third Kind reference when Grace sang that melody to Rocky. Yeah! That was so cool. I love seeing that bit. Oh my god. Come in, Yeah, no, the first initial encounter... Oh yeah, we never really get to talk about Grace and Rocky yet. Yeah, no, I love that reference. That was great. Even though Grace is an absolute fucking idiot. I loved that reference all the same. Oh my god. Yeah. Fucking... Imagine your first time meeting an extraterrestrial alien, right? Imagine you're out here meeting, like, first contact, right? With a completely different extraterrestrial life form to you. And the first thing you do is rage bait them. Like, are you stupid? Like... Rocky was right to think that Grace is stupid. Oh my god. Fucking... I come a piece head ass, like... God damn, bro. Why is your first instinct to rage bait him? Like, I know Grace probably didn't mean to rage bait them. But that's effectively what he did. He effectively rage baited the shit out of Iridian. He was the first one to make first contact. Not only with the Iridians, but also Astrophage and also the other thing, right? Taumiba. But he was also the first one to rage bait an alien. Like, are you crazy? Oh my god, it's a miracle they managed to get that shit done, bro. Absolute miracle. Absolute miracle. Oh, good lord. Good lord. But yeah, I just, wow, love them. Love them so much. Love them so much. Love them so much. Oh, speaking of Grace and Rocky. Speaking of Grace and Rocky, there's one thing that I need to make known on this channel, okay? I need you all to be very well aware, okay, that Rocky is not a pet. Rocky is not a pet at all. If we're going to compare who's the actual dog and who's the owner in the Grace and Rocky relationship, that's Grace. Grace is the dog, okay? Let's just make sure we're all on the same page here, okay? First and foremost, they are equals. Okay? First and foremost, Grace and Rocky are equals. I genuinely and truly sincerely mean this. I don't think they would have managed to come up with the solution that they needed without both of them working hand in hand, like 50-50, okay? But if we were to say who was the dog in the relationship, it was definitely Grace, okay? Rocky might be really cute and marketable as a mascot. But Rocky was the one that wore the pants in that relationship, okay? Rocky literally had to calculate everything and dumb it down and basically speak in a baby Iridian sort of language in order to communicate with Grace. Alright? Like, let's be honest with ourselves now. Rocky is not the dog. He's not the child here. There's no children. They're both grown. They're both grown individuals. But Grace is definitely the dog, okay? I just need you guys to know that. I need you guys to know that. Hashtag Trook. Exactly. Hashtag Truth Nuke. Trook. Dude, almost perfect memory compared to me not remembering what I had for breakfast. Yeah, I'm cooked. Man, what did I have for breakfast? Oh, it's technically still this meal. At least Rocky was supposed to be on the ship unlike... True! That's what I'm saying! He actually, like, willingly signed up for that shit. He left his mate behind and everything! I mean, they left their mate behind and everything, big dog. Like, they had no one to watch him sleep. The first hamster ball scene was on. The only scene that really gave energy for... Okay, fair. Yeah, okay, fair. That's fair. That is fair. And again, I'm not gonna fault anyone for, like, imprinting, oh my god, puppy, on Rocky. But, you know, just for everyone's sake, don't be doing that to everyone. Because, like, I bet you, if you were in the same position, dragged kicking and screaming onto the Hail Mary, and you decide to try to make a pet out of the rock, I'm pretty sure he'd smash you. He would smash you straight into the ground and puncture a hole through your spaceship. I don't think they ever got into the weights of both Grace and Rocky, but, like, Rocky was over 300 kilograms, I think. If I'm not wrong. I forgot if I read that incorrectly. But he could pummel your ass. So, yeah. Giant geological hamster? You got that, Ranthop. You got that. Grace also got hamster ball when he went to Rocky shit. So, yeah, exactly. Love that for you, Yelnas. His selection wasn't limited by a rare gene, so it's safe to say that Rocky is one of Arid's best engineers. Yeah, he's probably one of the best, if not the best, right? Best engineer, and had an incredible scientist mate that they left before their grand trip. But yeah. And he isn't caged by the other. Exactly! Who's the one that ends up getting a little, like, enclosure for them? At the end? That's right, Grace did. Grace is the dog, okay. They're both equals, but also Grace is the dog. Into that, okay. He got that dog in him, but also he is the dog. let's make it very, very clear. I will not stand for people infantilizing or babying Rocky, okay? Because Rocky will probably bitch slap you himself, but I need to defend my goat, okay? But yeah. What else did I want to mention? What else do I want to talk about? Was there anything else? Was there anything else? Was there anything else you guys wanted me to expand upon? I'm trying to think. I think that was the main one. You know that Rocky made enclosure? Sounds kind of nice. I mean, he gave Grace the setup. Found him a beautiful beach. Made some really nice, really nice interior design. Really nice house for him. It was great. What have we yapped about so far? Yapped about Grace. Yapped about Rocky. Yapped about the both of them. Yapped about Strut. Yapped about some differences. Shame they didn't put the auto cannibalism in the film. Yeah, I wish that made it there too. I wish they managed to talk about me burgers. Supposedly in the private screening that they did for all of our friends, the me burger was included there. They didn't put the what now? Yeah, this is me casually saying, read the book. So I don't mind talking about this one because this is like the epilogue sort of thing. So essentially, right, Grace takes Rocky home to Arid and basically sets himself up to go to Arid, right? Problem is, right, is that Grace nearly died of starvation because he didn't have that much food left on him. And they managed to stave it off for a bit by just letting him eat the Taumiba. Because, again, as you guys remember from the movie, Rocky had copious amounts of fucking Taumiba because of the shit that happened. So he managed to sustain himself off of the Taumiba. However, the Taumiba very much lacked all of the critical and important vitamins and calories and basically nutritional needs that a human needs that we normally don't think of. Okay. So he had all sorts of shit when he finally got to Arid. And so once they actually touched down on Arid, Rocky immediately put their science team to work in engineering meat and other important vitamins and stuff like that. And part of the way they did that is that they essentially cloned Grace's genes and cells to make meat, like meat cells. Which is how we affectionately got something called me burgers. Because it's a burger of me, of Grace. But yeah, because the reason being, right, is because Arid, all of their meals have such insane amounts of heavy metal. Like, it's just completely, like, you know how they were talking about how both Grace and Rocky were absolutely incompatible in each other's atmospheres? Yeah, no, they meant that shit. And so, yeah. They basically had to synthesize a lot of the vitamins and calories and stuff that they had, and they inevitably made me burgers. And, you know, if you've been staving off hunger and starvation for the last, like, leg of your trip off of nothing but Taumiba and shit like that, I think you'd be quite welcome to taste meat again, honestly. So yeah. Exactly, they had no other reference point to get food from except for Grace, as well as also the copious amounts of Wikipedia pages they had. So, yeah. He's eating himself. Yes, but like I wouldn't phrase it that way. But yes, that's the auto cannibalism. But yeah. That is the auto cannibalism. That's why he eats me burgers. Honestly, I'm surprised like they just stopped at the burgers. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like they also made soap too, like out of his fat cells. But yeah. But yeah, me burgers. Auto cannibalism. It's fine. It's fine because it's his own cells. And it's not even like wholly his own cells. It's like his cells and whatever else they engineered, you know? They just needed a structure for meat. That's it. That's it. No drinkable cheeseburger, unfortunately. Listen, outside of the context of Marathon, which, funnily enough, also takes place on Ceti, I don't think anyone would be interested in drinkable cheeseburger. Outside of the context of Marathon, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Who would eat a me burger if given the opportunity? I would. Fuck it. I didn't really think too much about the logistics of what it took for Grace to love out Eric. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. One difference that I will mention from the movie and the book is that Grace actually has a cane when he's on Arid, because Arid is actually double the gravity of Earth. It's about double the gravity of Earth, and so his like skeletal and his muscles deteriorate a lot faster than if he were like, you know, aging normally, I guess. But yeah. To be fair, he managed to stay on the Hail Mary, which is at 1.5 Gs, like up 1.5 Earth gravity. But yeah, he was like being consistently on Arid, it made his muscles deteriorate faster. So he actually has a cane and stuff. He's supposed to be a little bit more aged. But yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, 10 times Earth's normal gravity. But yeah, no, there was a lot. It was a lot to get Rocky back to Arid. You know, Grace, like they don't really go too much into the movie, and honestly, I'm glad they did, because I feel like they managed to juggle the tonal shifts enough, and I feel like having to go through all that would be a little bit too dark.
Would fuck up that drinkable burger if I had the chance.
Yeah, I know you would. Paul, welcome back for 15 months. But yeah, no, Grace genuinely and sincerely had to make a sacrifice. He sincerely had to make a sacrifice, and obviously he was going through that and considering it in the movie and stuff. But once I actually read the book and everything, and you know, it really hammered home to me that like, hey, I might die on the way back home to Arid, right? Just putting that out there, like he put a lot. He put a lot at stake to be there. So yeah. I wonder how a me soda would be like. Well, supposedly they made a vitamin enriched soda as well. That's how he stopped getting scurvy and stuff. But yeah, no, Grace is in super bad shape, like towards the last leg, going to Arid. Motherfucker got scurvy, motherfucker got beriberi, motherfucker got... It's just a whole slew of problems, bro. Absolute miracle they managed to... What is it? Sustain him long enough to get him back. We big backing out here. I'm a few meals ahead and a few shits behind. Don't hate me because I'm well nourished. Banger. Love that for you, Polo. Good for you. Good for you. Love that for you. Add some fiber into your diet if you're behind on a couple of shits, though. That's probably not good for your hot girl tummy issues. Oh my god. But yeah. Is it a me smoothie or a smooth me? Oh, that's a good question. True, that's smart, good looking out. Hey man, I got you. What kind of nurse would I be? You know? If I didn't think about that, you know? But yeah. What else? I don't know. I mean, I could just brain rot about Project Hail Mary all day. However, I don't know what to talk about that wouldn't absolutely give away stuff from the book. So, I'm very curious to hear about your thoughts. Would you ever consider the smoothie or the burger? Pero no los dos. God gave me 2 hands for a reason. Pero no los dos. Who says? You really think that Grace would introduce the concept of a burger without also introducing the concept of a milkshake with it? That motherfucker definitely gets a chocolate milkshake with his burger. Are you kidding me? He gets that shit with the burger, with the fries, and the milkshake. Cause he's greedy like that. Fucking greedy. Talk about the Bible. But if you have to ask between the two, I'd like the burger. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the shape of my stomach at the time, because I'd probably have to like reintroduce solids after like sustaining yourself on liquids the entire time, but still. You want both parts of a cow, the burger and the milkshake. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Greed, they talk about the okay, well, to be fair though, the cow isn't a cow, the cow is him. So I guess it's fine. I guess it cancels out. Cause like a good answer, he's basically eating himself out. So, yeah. He wasn't the dog, he was the cow. Oh, Ayo cook? Are we cooking? Are we cooking or are we cooked? Cow also makes the cheese technically. The cow is a very versatile animal, you think about it. Yeah, be able to tell them to go fuck themselves. Eat themselves out. Exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, going back to Iridians though, and specifically Rocky. Because I don't think I talked about Rocky enough for how interesting I think Iridians are. I think one of the reasons why I like Project Hail Mary so much is because Rocky is genuinely and sincerely so truly alien from Grace. You know? He was so genuinely and sincerely alien, and I love how they went through such efforts to show how alien Rocky is without, like, being freaky about it, you know? Like, I don't know, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really cool, that, like, despite everyone's advances and stuff like that, they still managed to meet in the middle. Like, right in the perfect time for both of them to solve the situation, like, figure it out. Okay, one more thing about the food, and then we can move on. Do men have enough deactivated milk glands for them to figure out artificial me milk? So, from what I remember, the milk glands don't go away for men. Like, functionally, men and women got the same mammary glands, you know? And I heard that under certain circumstances that it can be activated. I don't know if they figured that out with them. I'm sure they figured something out. They probably had some sort of form of milk, and they probably just had to make like the vitamins and stuff. I think. I don't know. Yeah, probably. I figure I got big boobs. I love that for you, EVE.EXE. Also, hi, EVE.EXE. What's up? I heard of something leaking, yeah. I'd be pissed if I ate a meat burger and it tasted whack, though. I better at least taste good. I think Grace said that shit was banging. I think Grace was just like, God, fuck yeah, I love eating meat burgers. So I assume it's good. Just because he couldn't have the organic stuff because it's laced with heavy metals, it doesn't mean... I don't think Iridians didn't have salt. I think they still had a little salt and pep. And if not, they had access to Earth Wikipedia. So I'm sure they managed to come up with like a whole boatload of sauces and stuff. He was the Lily, so do we trust his opinion? Honestly, I think so long as he got a little bit of salt and pep and maybe some ketchup on that thing, he's probably fine. Oh, actually, you can chemically synthesize salt. Yeah. I would imagine after the first iterations of the burger, they were like, all right, y'all gotta season this shit. And they're like, what seasoning? Question. They're like, this shit. They're like, salt? They're like, oh, salt. Yeah, we have salt. We can synthesize it, you know? Because Iridians, they're smart like that. They're really smart like that. NaCl the goat. No pepper, though? I'm sure they could figure it out. Listen, Iridians worked with a metal form of zetonite, okay? They can figure out a little salt and pepper and maybe some paprika. Maybe say cayenne, although I don't know if that's too spicy for Grace. Like, I don't know exactly how white Grace is, but I like to think, I like to headcanon that Grace can handle a little bit of spice. Blood is from, was it San Jose, San Fran? Like, I know he's been to like a good, some Mexican, some sort of Latin-inspired restaurant over there. I refuse to think otherwise. Also, actually, yeah, no, it is canon. It is canon that he can handle a little bit of spice, because what sort of freak shit behavior is fucking spreading mustard on some raw-ass ramen? Those man's taste buds are taste buds of steel. I refuse to believe that man can't handle a little bit of cayenne and spice. I refuse. I refuse to believe that stuff. Sorry, I had to think about that. I re-traumatized myself, so I had to remind everyone else in the room that our freak show did that. I'm so... I hate. There's not many things I hate about Ryland Grace, but that's one of the things I hate about him. I hate the fact that he's tempted me with the idea of taking a raw ramen pack of noodles and, like, putting a little bit of mustard on it. It wasn't even honey mustard. I think it was just mustard. So you know that shit was stabbing and stuff, fucking biting back and stuff. Like, I hate that I'm so curious about it. Fuck you, Riley Grace. I forget, was that in the book? I have no idea. I think it's movie only, but I wouldn't be surprised if book Grace is that much of a hot mess too. That sounds absolutely foul. It sure looked foul. It sure looked foul. Real Project Hail Mary fans will try the Grace struggle meal. Listen, I've watched Project Hail Mary so many times. I've seen all the artwork. I've done all the deep character analysis and if not trying, the Grace struggle meal is what separates me from being an actual Project Hail Mary fan, then I don't know. I might have to take the L. I might have to. I might just have to be a tourist this time around. A tourist that happens to know a lot of particular things on how Iridians work and like actually like memorized some of the numbers regarding astrophage. BB, think of the content? No. No. Is it not torture enough? I already play Apex. Now you want me to play Apex with my taste buds on fire? Like, you guys want me to die? Like... Does it sound like too bad of an idea with honey mustard? Yeah, but here's the thing. In order to be authentic, I think you need to have, like, straight up mustard. Like, the Dijon shit. Like, oh, God. Do you think they made toilet paper for him, or does he just get like a potent bidet? I think they probably made that. Why not both? Fuck it. Depending whatever the fuck Grace wanted, really. I bet, and I know Grace is definitely reserved about this in the books, I bet whatever Grace asked for, they gave it to him, because, I mean, he literally did save their planet. He saved their universe. So, yeah. Oh, brother.
Watched the movie 7 times but can't even try raw ramen with mustard. Fake fan right here SMH. Pensive face emoji.
Alright, listen, buddy. Listen. If I could get... How much are my taste buds worth? 25? 50? Drop 50 subs within the next... the rest of the Zatsu. You drop 50 subs in the rest of the Zatsu. Then I'll do the mustard ramen eating stream. But it has to be within the next 43 minutes. 43 minutes. I said 50, but... No, you can't just say that! No, you can't just drop that! No! You can't just... I needed to come from non-Joker! What the fuck? I didn't think you had enough to come... Do you realize how much 50 subs is? I forgot that I can't fucking joke with you guys for 2 seconds. I should have bumped that shit up to 100. I should have bumped that shit up to 100. Fuck! Oh my god. Oh, why do I do this to myself? I should have said 100. I get paid next week as well. Thank you. Thank you for the 50 subs. You didn't even let me finish. Thank you. Oh my god. We'll have a nice dinner stream at some point. I guess. I fucking guess. Oh my god. Why do I open my mouth ever? Why do I open my mouth ever? Oh my god. Oh my god. Quick call your local or... No, we don't have to do that! We already have one here! Fucking bastard. Since that was doable, can BB eat the cinnamon roll ramen? What? What? Huh? What the fuck is a cinnamon roll ramen? If I'm doing any other variants, you gotta pay up 10 gifted each. Actually, no, 25 gifted each. We'll do ketchup. We'll do ketchup, and not ketchup, sorry. We'll do the mustard. We'll do the Dijon mustard, and I'll probably try it with some honey mustard. Make it a hand cam? I mean, I'm gonna have to make it a hand cam just so you guys don't think I'm chickening out. You guys to be able to see me actually fucking put that shit on the thing. How much to make it a hand cam? I mean, do you guys not already expect a hand cam? 25 more. The fuck? Oh my god. Alright, note to self. Note to self, going forward, I start doing stupid shit. I need to say 100 subs minimum. I need to say 100 subs minimum. Do you expect you to give every excuse not to do the... Well, here's the thing. I already said that I'm morbidly curious to see how that would taste. I expect one or at least a picture. I mean, no, it's obviously going to be a hand cam. We'll get it out and everything. I'll have the packs. We'll have like an assortment of mustard. You want me to put cinnamon on top of the ramen? That is vile. That is fucking vile. You guys need to cough up another 50 for me to try cinnamon on the ramen. I'm not doing that. Mustard I will maybe consider, but cinnamon, that's like a powder and stuff, and then I have to like... I should make that 100 maybe, honestly. Just cause like, you know, fucking inhalation risks and shit like that. Oh my god, thank you, Korean Joker, for the 50 gifted. Thank you for the fucking ramen hand cam for everyone. Fuck, bro. God damn it. Thank you, but also, I regret saying anything ever on this stream. Thank you, big dog. Thank you. If you got gifted, please say thank you. Or else. Oh my god. What did we learn today, BB? I need to give you guys more reasons to throw money at me, apparently. I need to give more reasons for you to throw money. It's just... you know, it may or may not come at the cost of my health and well-being, but like, I don't know, I guess that's content creation, baby. Did I get gifted, but thank you for the cinema? Hi, fuckers. Look at all these guys. Look at all these tribes preying on my downfall. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. There's a Thanksgiving dinner ramen. I had it. It was it. What, the one with the turkey and shit like that? I figured that would be good. Ramen is just like a different sort of like, carb. No? Thank you, Korea Joker. Thanks you will have fine dining. Okay, you can at least thank Joker for bringing around the ramen hand cam stream, I guess. Which then I guess could lead into the ramen gunpla stream. Because I still have it. Although I was going to wait until National Ramen Day to make it. But we could just... I could just go ahead... do the ramen tasting, fucking hate myself over it, and then we build the gunpla. You could bundle it into what? Yeah, I just moved it up a bit. Yeah. The what gunpla stream? Yeah. Oh, okay. So if you guys weren't here, when I talked about, I don't remember when I talked about this, but after my aerial rebuild gunpla stream, I went back to the hobby store that had all of the gunpla and stuff like that, and I bought myself a handful of more. I got myself from the G-Clucks, as well as a couple of other models, and front and center, when I initially went into the gunpla aisles, there was a 1-to-1 scale of the cup noodle. The cup noodle ramen set. So, yeah. I think it's the only one there where the scale is 1-to-1. So... and I was like, oh shit! That's really cool. And so, yeah. I figured at some point that I would probably do a ramen gunplay hand cam stream, so I could just bundle it into one. Cause honestly, I don't know how long a mustard eating stream would be, so who knows? Maybe while I'm working on the ramen gunplay stream, every 5 gifted, I take another bite. Please don't start backloading that thing. Please don't queue out the bites. Thank you. Wait until the stream. Thanks. Incoming 100 gifted. How many fucking bites is that? How many tiny ass bites am I going to have to take? Actually, no. To make it fair, I'd have to take like a genuine bite. 20 bites. I could probably finish it in 20 bites. Asking my boss for an advance on my paycheck. I'm fucking terrified. I need to scrub this VOD. I need to scrub this VOD so you guys don't remember and share with the rest of the tribes. You gotta eat the whole thing. I'm fucking apparently 20 bites? Yeah! I have to eat like a thing and a half. This fucking Dijon mustard on top of raw ramen. Should I get myself into, bro? You guys just ever regret talking? Like speaking at all? I do. I do. I low-key tried to find 86 Gunflow in Akihabara. I don't think it's out there, Cygnus. Unfortunately, I don't think the hype is there enough for them to reprint it. Because I've been waiting... Okay, half of the reason why I've been waiting for an 86 Season 2 is because I want a reprint of Shin's Juggernaut variant. I think that's the only way I'm going to get my hands on it. But aside from that, you're just going to have to get it from like really, really, really high level scalpers. Makes me sad. Do you say 25 each or 75 each? 75. Yup. 75. Only because I don't know how I feel about any other ramen combination, so. Konberu krage. Gunpla noodle. Yeah! I think it's like the Maruchan cup noodle. They have a cup noodle gunpla set. That I might have to finally crack into once I eat mustard on top of ramen like Grace did on Project Hail Mary. Because I can't keep my mouth shut on stream. Y'all do leave me suck it up and take on the challenges that await for us. You know what, Impulse? You're so right. Never back down, never what? You're so right. You're so right. I still regret everything, but you're so right. Cheers. I'm gonna enjoy my pasta. Just try to not think of it as ramen. But yeah. Anyways, is this a good time to ask for BB and Rocky fan art? I want fan art of me just hugging the shit out of Rocky. I feel like he'd be able to give incredible hugs. Not gonna lie. I'd like to humbly request fan art of me and Rocky just hugging it out. Just simply hugging it out. Because I love that guy. I love that little guy. That's my goat right there. Good night, Moore. Quick, record the evidence. Oh, fuck off, Moore. Hope your pillow's warm. I'm kidding. Or am I? He ain't exactly the squishiest, so I'm sure we can engineer a solution. Yeah, exactly. Rocky Balboa? No! Rocky the Iridian! Warm pillow is evil. I mean, would you guys rather I say I hope their pillow is warm or that their toes stick out and that the demons grab them? I need Diana riding on top of Rocky as fan art. Oh, that'd be so cute! I will also accept that as well. Diana sitting on Rocky as fan art. All the fixation about Project Hail Mary and I still haven't seen it, know nothing about it. Well, do I have good news for you, Krigsby? As of last week, Project Hail Mary is now available on digital streaming platforms, so you can go ahead and own it or rent it for a measly however many bucks it is on whatever streaming service you prefer, so you can watch greatness yourself. I'm not sponsored by them, I just really like the movie. Oh my god. Instructions confused, BB hugging the rock? Yes, exactly. Or the rock hugging me, whichever. Yeah, not sponsored, I just have brain rot. That's it. But yeah. Was there anything else about Project Hail Mary that I needed to yap about? You got 30 minutes of it. Is there any other cool, interesting tidbits you guys want to know from like the book or the movie, or like any sort of differences and stuff like that? Because otherwise, I'm just gonna tell you guys to rewatch that shit. Because like seriously, I think the rewatchability of Project Hail Mary deadass needs to be studied. Like there's so many cool things and so many new things to recognize and like pick out the more you watch it. Like the color theory? Oh my god. I'm so impressed with the color theory in there. It's so good. Okay guys, BB inside the bubble and the chimes playing with Rocky and it's like the Squidward looking outside meme. You want me to die? You hate me and you want me to die. Why am I Squidward? Why am I Squidward in that scenario? Hello? Chimes should be Squidward and I should be frolicking around with Rocky. What is wrong with you? I'll get you. I'll get your ass. Is my Project Hail Mary fixation the same as when people are fixated with the Martian? I don't know. I wasn't really that fixated with the Martian. I mean, I think Matt Damon did an incredible job, but like, I don't know. Project Hail Mary is like the first movie I've been this hooked on in like a while. Or like, ever, I would say. Martian was written by the same person, though. Cygnus, don't you dare. Cygnus, don't do it. I mean, I'm desperate enough to see fan art. But also, don't do it. Don't freaking do it. This reaction is why you're Squidward. Just say you hate me. Just say you guys fucking hate me, bro. I don't like that smile. I don't like that smile. I'm gonna ignore you guys now. I'm gonna pretend that conversation never happened. I'm gonna cut the VOD. We're gonna scrub the VOD. Not just be the darndest thing. It would be the darndest thing, wouldn't it? It'd be the absolute darndest thing, huh? The Rocky BB cosplay? I think it might be easier to cosplay to have me be in Grace cosplay, no? You can't scrub her minds though? Not yet I can't. You think I won't just take a bell chime? Freaking shove my fist up their like bubble head and just fucking scrub it around like a scrub daddy or whatnot and then dump out the contents? You don't think I wouldn't do that to you fuckers? You watch. I'll rinse you guys. I'll rinse the tops of your head like some goddamn bowls. Put that shit on an extra rinse cycle in the dishwasher. You're gonna do what? Did I fucking stutter? If I stuttered, it's because I can't talk publicly correctly. Not because I'm gonna stutter, I'm gonna hesitate on what I'm doing to you guys. She's gonna spin us counterclockwise and that'll be all. I'll spin you guys counterclockwise and also clockwise. We're just going to switch it around every couple of cycles. As we speak, I'm already rotating you guys in my mind and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You guys are already spinning rapidly in my mind. There's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to stop it. Yeah, BB won't do anything to the chimes that were required to go outside. I already go outside to swim. I already start going outside way more than you fuckers have. I literally went outside yesterday to go watch the Gundam Hathaway movie. Which, by the way, was kind of alright. Yeah, it was just alright. I'm not really too familiar with the Hathaway storyline. And I still walked away not really knowing much. But the fight scenes were cool. You're gonna puke in your mind if you go any faster. I am rotating you guys rapidly, but just below the threshold where you guys could be sick on me. Although I don't know why you guys are acting like you're the most fragile things in existence. I'm pretty sure I made you guys, like, I don't know, sturdy enough to last a nuclear war or something. Although I guess I never really went to the anatomy of a bell chime, did I? Is it gonna centrifuge our guts? You know, I wasn't really thinking about centrifuge for you guys. But I'd be open to the idea, honestly. Do you look like we're made of xenonite? Oh, who cares if you look like it or not? You're fine. What if you eat the nuclear charge? I mean, you guys could be like an astrophage variant. Similar sort of analog, probably. Cody Mama just drew us into existence. I mean, I already have a couple of headcanons for you guys. Why am I saying headcanons? I literally birthed you guys. Yeah, I have a couple of facts about you guys that you probably don't know about yourselves. We could have a stream about it. Maybe that could be your anniversary stream. Who knows? Slaps the top of this. Bell chime. You could fit so much whimsy in this thing. If you birthed us, that means it's child abuse? What? No. Clearing out your brain cells and your insides and everything? No, that's just standard bell chime maintenance. Why are you guys acting like it's child abuse? I didn't even know all the facts there is to being a bell chime. To be fair, I'm withholding that information, but like also... Ma'am, I refuse to believe that narrative. Okay, well, tough shit. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, as much as I would love to prove Rylan Grace right, and that you guys aren't a water-based organism, you guys probably are. Sorry, Grace. But there's something else in there, probably. Yeah, exactly. I'm withholding all your information so that way you guys are old enough, you know? You'll learn about yourselves when you're older. And I believe that's true for many people here, you know? You learn more about yourself the older you are. We'll get there, okay? We'll get there when we get there. Jellyfish are like the most watery organisms to exist. They are! But we could probably think of some sort of plasma-like thing. Well, I guess plasma needs water. I don't know. We were adopted. I mean, yes. Technically you guys were adopted. Listen, just because I got helium balloons and stuff doesn't mean you guys came from it, okay? Since they look similar to jellyfish, do chimes do the thing where if the stress levels are high enough, they revert to a younger state? Krigsby, just look around you. I think you'll have the answer to that then. Talk to your fellow chime for 2 seconds and then come back to me. See what you get out from me. That's you being a child, not the chimes. Alright, bro. Whatever. Every day I think about that jellyfish spitting gift. That's me. You're welcome. Oh, wait. Not the emote, right? Just kind of like the things floating around and stuff. Yeah, no, that's just you guys. That's you guys just chilling, you know. Fucking hanging around, watching me play Apex and stuff. Just bloop, bloop, bloop. Listening to me talk about Project Hail Mary. Oh, good, I can pass on it? Yeah, yeah, so the reason why I didn't stream yesterday is because I went out with a couple of Medtechs and Moon's friends, and we watched Gundam Hathaway Part 2. The Nymph of Circe, I don't know how the heck they say it. But we watched the Hathaway movie Part 2. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch the first Hathaway movie when it was out in the theaters, so I watched that in Discord with everyone before the movie. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of only like 50% sure of what the hell happened in the plot. The fight scenes and the animation were cool. And like the animation, the rotoscoping was great. But my feelings about 1 and 2 are basically the same. Where like, they didn't really do much. they didn't really do much. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Part 3 does and seeing if we'll get anything more out of it. I don't know. Hello, Sharky. Not much. How about you? Welcome. I hope the soundtrack was at least good. I mean, the soundtrack had both SZA and Guns N' Roses. As for where you hear Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, that's for you to find out. God. It's not Gundam Yuri, like Witch from Mars, so it's a downgrade. You mean Mercury? Fake ass Gundam fan, the book. Witch from Mars. Actually, it's Witch from Mercury. Don't call me a fake ass Project Hail Mary fan. Fucking, I can't even say this shit right. Fucking boomers. Kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing will really top Witch from Mercury for me. Would we have to wait for Part 3 though? Because Part 3 came out a long time ago. Part 1. Oh, I don't know. I think it was like about 5 years development between Part 1 and Part 2. So I'm assuming it'll be about the same for Part 3. Like, I'm assuming they're still working on it, right? But yeah. Witch from Mars at the fan sequel to Iron-Blooded Orphan. Oh yeah, true! IBO took place on like a Martian colony, right? Bandai's too much of a coward to do another Mercury anyhow. They had their chance, the G-Quux, and flubbed hard. I like G-Quux. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't want to do anything more with G-Quux though, because like imagining just trying to animate those designs is... Ugh. I don't know. Supposedly... Was it... I'm trying to remember what Moon told me. I think Wing was getting a prequel? Or like a reboot? Or remaster? Or reboot? Something? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, one of the older Gundam series should be getting a reboot. I think he said Wing. Yeah, Wing's getting a new animation project. And there's also a chance they might also just like remaster or redo the UC series as well to make it more palatable, I guess. Like the pacing and stuff in modern day, I guess. That's confirmed? I have no idea. This is just shit that I heard off of the grapevine. But yeah. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool. I still have to watch. I still have to watch the Gundam. I still have to catch up. I really wanted to catch up after talking with everyone after the Hathaway movie. But yeah. I thought when they dropped an anniversary OP for Gundam Wing it'd be that. Yeah, I think it is. Don't quote me on it. Excuse me. Don't quote me on it though. Yeah, I need to watch Gundam. I need to watch what is it? Wing. And double... Was it double zero? Seed is the one I should stay away from, right? Because Seed was supposed to be a reboot of something, and then that was kind of meh. If Wing is getting a remaster, that would explain the recent push of the Apex and the collab. Maybe, yeah. Doing a lot of, like, revitalization and stuff like that, and hype into Gundam. Because I figure for a lot of people in the current day and age, a lot of people's entry point to Gundam was Witch from Mercury. I mean, at least that was my entry point. It seems to be a handful of others. And I do want to get into the original universe timeline. But... I don't know. I have to, like, literally... throw my brain at it. Are they taking down the unicorn statue at JP? Aw. Sucks. Hopefully that means they're putting something bigger there then. Describe studio cars shove a bag of money into their hands. I mean... assuming they don't have anything else. I'm not gonna act like I know how the animation companies work over there. I'm not gonna act like I know what goes on. I just enjoy the media. Statues confirmed coming down this year? No. Sag. Well... yeah. We got so far away from Project Hail Mary, but I figured we were done. But yeah, thank you guys for letting me up. And as always, fucking read or watch that shit. But yeah. Do I already have the waiting room set up? I do. Okay, cool. Sick. But yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else, I guess I could just slowly get you guys over to the Devil May Cry waiting room. Yeah. Yeah, Devil Trigger, yeah! Yippee! I'm very excited. I'm very curious to see how this game holds up in current setting. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Hopefully it won't be as punishing and bad as people are worrying me with. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, thanks for listening to me yap about Project Hail Mary and a couple of other things and a little bit of Gundam. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I liked, like, I don't know. I think the Hathaway movies is interesting. But the pacing was just, And also that movie was so fucking dark, bro. Like, I know from the first one, a lot of the first Hathaway critique was that some of the scenes were so fucking dark. I thought they would have fixed that shit in the second one, but no! It's dark as shit! I couldn't see fuck all on that screen, god damn. But yeah. It was cool. It was interesting. I like seeing the fights. But, I don't know. Aside from one boss, the rest should be fine. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Oh, I do have question actually. What is actually so bad about DMC2? What's actually so bad about the second game? I know a lot of people were saying that like the mechanics were a slog to get through, and that one of the only good things out of it was like the designs and stuff like that. But should 2 really be as avoided as you guys been harping on about? We had to immerse you in the night scenes. I don't care, bitch. Turn on the lamp. I can't see shit out there, dog. Okay, I will say, there was one part of the movie where I really think they used the darkness to their advantage just to like highlight the destruction and all the other shit that was going on. Like it was really dark and then something blew up and I was like, whoa, that was really cool. But aside from that, it genuinely felt like about 45% of the movie was just in the dark. I was like, what the fuck? The hell? So I don't know. The team that made DMC2 didn't know what people liked about in the first one. The way combat works is completely different and not in a good way. I heard that the combat in DMC2 was a complete departure of what they got right in the first one. Even my buddy in Australia who played it for the completion did not like it and said it was not worth it. Okay. Modern cinema problems. Ain't nobody paying for a color balancer on the staff anymore. AI can't hack it. I don't fucking care. Pay them. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care about that. Freaking, I want to see what's going on in the fucking movie theater. I didn't pay $18 for darkness. I don't know. For me, if I haven't heard about DMC2 at all, for me, it means it wasn't good at all. Rude? You know what's rude? Making me sit in a dark-ass theater and having me squint and shit. I want to see what's going on. Turn on a light or two. I am all for movies like playing on light and dark to emphasize certain things, but that did not feel like that. You can definitely tell when people are trying to send out a message or do something cool with darkness. It's a completely different topic to just have everything be unseeable, unreadable. Hi, Bling Bling. Am I Bling Bling? Is that what BB stands for? Hello, Ceti. DMC2 is just gun. You can do chainable hit combos by holding down the gun button and clear encounters. Oh, I heard about that. That like you can just do that. Yeah. You don't move and you win. That's it. Oh, that's a little understimulating. Okay. Well, I mean, if there's nothing lost in skipping over 2, then I don't mind skipping over 2. So yeah. There's another movie that did the same thing. It was a sequel of Alien vs. Predator. Yeah, I heard that one was dark too. Yeah. I think that's another reason why I like Project Hail Mary so much. Man, they did not fuck around with the color. I mean, they did mess around with the color. But like, it was so beautiful and vibrant and like so saturated and nice. Where like everyone else has been doing like gray and drab and like monochrome and it's just boring and sad and ugly and dystopian. It was so beautiful. All just the beautiful amounts of colors you got in that movie. Like I am sick. I am sick and tired of going to the cinema and seeing all these dark and like lifeless colored ass sets. Either color grade or fuck off. I'm not asking you turn up the vibrancy to like fucking 80% like how freaking 90% of Apex Legends players play with their colors saturated to 110. But I'm just saying, add some color in that bitch. Like, come on. Come on. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all of the drab colors. Hire someone on the post-processing or figure out your seeds or don't show it to me at all. Like Ryan Gosling said, you gotta make it worth it. You gotta make going to the cinema worth it. I don't want to look at a bunch of grays and shit. Sorry, I needed that out of my... I needed that out. Made me mad. Also, I will never not take up an excuse to glaze the fuck out of Project Hail Mary. That's another thing too I need to get. I need to get like the what is it? I need to get the magazine where like Craig Fraser, who I think is the director of the cinematography of Project Hail Mary, he like talked in an article or in an interview or whatnot and like some cinematographer magazine. I need to get my hands on that. I want to crack open his mind. I want to see how he came up with all of these beautiful ideas and beautiful shots. I want to study his brain. I need to see if that's still on sale. Hashtag Truk. Sorry, a little heated. Can't confirm I bought a monitor off a gamer once and the saved color settings are burning my eyes. I don't know what it is. Listen, I don't know what it is about like Apex players specifically, but they love cranking up that saturation. I'm like, aren't you guys already assaulted enough by all the shit that you can't see in the game? Like, why are you turning that shit? To be fair, I turn up the brightness just a little bit, but like not that much. So ugly. Like, I don't know. Time for BB to get the book too. What, Project Hail Mary? Yeah, I've already read through it twice. I might do a third read through, honestly. I think half of the reason why everyone says that octanes and conduits, like, you know, color sort of filters hurt their eyes when they do their movement is because that shit's already saturated to like 92%. So yeah, I don't know. There's a deluxe edition with some really nice art. I saw that. I don't know. Honestly, I'm usually not a fan of books that have like the movie poster as the front, but I kind of want the one for Ryan Gosling, and then I also want the deluxe edition where it has like the beautiful like hardcover art on it. I want that one. I think it's really nice, but I think it's already insane that I already have a copy of Project Hail Mary. Especially if I'm already going to get the physical copy of Project Hail Mary the movie whenever that comes out, which I think it should still come out in August? Yeah. Final form of an Apex player is just a bright white screen. Oh, so just smoke your feet. Smoke your feet. But yeah. The games even skip over DMC2 and some other games they talk about and basically say, oh yeah, this happened 2 weeks ago, and they give greater attention to the 07 DMC anime. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Well, interesting. Alright. Well, I'll keep that in mind. But in the meantime, let's go crack into DMC1, shall we? I finally finished dinner. It only took me 2 hours to eat. 3, honestly. But yeah. Zatsu, Discord movie night. I will see you guys when we start watching this Skibidi Toilet series. Shout out. Well, you know who you are. I better see you guys there. No, fuck you mean no. Okay, would it make you feel better if we watch Interstellar first and then Skibidi Toilet or what? Why are you guys saying no? I thought you guys all wanted to get to know each other. You really want me to unsub though? What do you mean unsub? Just don't come to the Discord watch-along. Although if you don't come to the Discord watch-along, I'll just know you guys are just saying you hate me. You want me to... How many subs to sub out the Skibbity Watch-A-Lot? 100 right now. 5 gifted subs a day. We'll hold off the Skibbity Toilet Watch-Along to another day. 5 gifted right now. Is a non-zero chance Skibbity Toilet becomes your new... Okay, Tangents just dropped 5 gifted on Twitch side, so I suppose I will put off the Skibbity Toilet Watch-Along for 1 more day. I will put it off for 1 more day. Thank you. Thank you, Tangents, for the 5 gifted. Oh my god. Please don't be me. What? Listen, I shared with you guys my hyperfixation on Project Hail Mary. I think it's only fair that we have a shared interest together, you know? Especially if Shampoo says that there's a non-zero chance Skibbity Toilet could be my new hyperfixation. You know? Because my brain does not discriminate, okay? Lord knows. Lord God knows why that the most perfectly tailored, perfectly engineered in a lab series for me won't hit as bad, but some little scrunkly guy that I see at 3 in the morning will just absolutely enrapture me and take up all my brain cells. Okay, I don't choose the hyperfixation. The hyperfixation chooses me. Okay. I know people who insist it's actually really good. So listen, the reason why I'm so interested in Skibbity Toilet is because Bug's friend, Lapis, I believe, Bug had a Skibbity Toilet expert who literally said it's the modern day Mona Lisa. You can't just call something that without it having some sort of backing, especially because I've already been familiar with like its cult following even prior than that. Doesn't that make you curious? To hear something be the modern day Mona Lisa? And also, apparently they got mechas in Skibbity Toilet, and I love mechas. So like, you know. They got mechas in there. I am literally one of the avid mecha enjoyers on this channel. I'm kind of obligated to see what's up. Girl, people can say whatever they want now. Okay, listen, yeah, I know that. But also, like, they got mechas. They got mechas in Skibbity. I want to see what's up. You guys are free to join, but you don't have to come if you don't want to. You know? Let's get you to bed. No, we can't go to bed. I have to go play Devil May Cry. Which anyways, I'm running late for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you guys over, okay? There's so many things wrong with that sentence. Listen. Listen. I don't shame you guys for liking the shit that you like, okay? I don't even know if I'll like Skibbity Toilet. I'm just morbidly curious. I think it's good. I think it's good to be curious about things, okay? I think it'll be fine, probably. I don't know. Alright. Anyways, I'm gonna send you guys over now. Twitch, you could stay put, okay? YouTube, I'm gonna see you guys in a bit, alright? But yeah. Quick rundown of what we're doing next. I'm gonna be sending you guys over to my Devil May Cry waiting room. We're gonna be playing Devil May Cry, the OG game, part 1. Yeah, very much excited. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it in one sitting or if I'll need like 2 sessions to play it, but we'll see. And then Friday and Saturday will just be Apex ranked. Although, I don't know, maybe I'll like Devil May Cry so much they'll end up wanting to do a part 2 before or after ranked tomorrow, okay? So, yeah. Twitch, park it, YouTube, I'll see you guys in a bit, okay? Yeah. Atsu, Zatsu, real this time. Thank you guys for hanging out. If I don't see you guys in the Devil May Cry room, then I hope I'll see you guys for Apex tomorrow. If you're new here and you like the vibes, remember to drop a follow, check out my socials. I also posted up some new shorts today. I posted up like a Voices in the Void short. I'm honestly debating if I want to make that into like a full stream highlight, because man, I did some shit over there, man. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's it. But yeah. Atsu! I'll see you guys very soon!